So hello students, welcome. So how are you all? So type in the chat box. Good evening all of you. Yeah, namaste. So how are you all? So type in the chat box. Vanakkam. Yeah, vanakkam Mayank Dishit. Tamil. Good. Namaskar. Namaskar. Namaste. Telugu. Okay, namaste. Thank you all. Anyhow, okay. So yeah, hi. Oh, I think just a minute. I kept my phone in sound mode. Okay, fine. Now it's fine. So now, yeah. So basically in yesterday's session we have started this series on solving PYQS of engineering mathematics XCA, and in yesterday's class, yeah, hello, hi. So why XC maths is tricky than mechanical? Because you have to write only 2-3 subjects, so questions are thoda tricky. Okay, love from Bihar, thank you. So fine, let us continue this. Okay, fine, yeah, even I love you too all. So let us start the session. So basically in yesterday's session we have picked up some questions, and in that questions we have seen some basic fundamental points. Okay, so आज हम और कुछ ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करेंगे, एंड उस क्वेश्चंस में भी क्या क्या कॉन्सेप्ट्स है, क्या शॉर्ट ट्रिक्स है, ये सब मैं आपको पढ़ाता हूँ. ठीक है, सो लेट्स कंटिन्यू. Now this is second lecture anyhow, so this is the schedule. So this first day got finished yesterday, and today also is almost about to finish with this last session. Okay, and obviously tomorrow also you have the same sequence: fluid mechanics by me and Sandeep sir, then solid mechanics by Apoop sir and Bansal sir, thermodynamics by Negi sir and Vinod sir, and mathematics again by me. I'll take that. Okay, you're such a humble and grounded person. Okay, fine, thank you. So let us continue. And this is of course team Dona. You know that we have done so many panel discussions by now, and so many other things as well. So you know our team, basically you know that each and everyone is a very good master in their subjects. So let's straight away start these questions. Okay, so कल आपने पूछा था कि सर हमें लाइन इंटीग्रल्स में थोड़ा दिक्कत है, so इसलिए इस टॉपिक से थोड़ा ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. So मैं पहला क्वेश्चन लाइन इंटीग्रल से ही लाया था. If the work done in moving a particle once around a circle, x square plus y square is equal to 4 under the force field f bar of x comma y, so force field is this, is 16 pi, then modulus of a is equal to. So solve this question, simple question actually. So solve this. F bar of x comma y is equal to 2x minus ay times I bar plus 2y plus ax j bar. Okay, and path क्या है? This is the path. Okay, so अगर आपने सर्किल बना तो okay, so ये है हमारा एक्सिस, this is x and y. so सर्किल, एक सर्किल भी बनाया था हमें. इस सर्किल का इक्वेशन क्या है? एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस वाई स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू 4, है ना. नाउ यहाँ सारे लोग मैकेनिकल से हैं, सो बताइए मैकेनिकल में वर्क डन का फॉर्मूला क्या है एक्चुअली. अगर आपको एक पाथ है फॉर एग्जांपल, सो उस पाथ में आपने एक पार्टिकल मूव किया था, ओके, कुछ फोर्स अप्लाई करके. सो उस पाथ में वर्क डन क्या हो गया? एफ बार डॉट डी आर बार और द पाथ सी. यस और नो? करेक्ट. कभी देखा था इस इक्वेशन को? f into dx, and of course in case of vector cases it is f bar dot dr bar, force into displacement, है ना. f bar it's a dot product, vector is work done is basically scalar, so it is dot product of two vectors, f bar dot dr bar. Okay, so now if you see, yeah, good evening Ramanujan. So integral over this path c, पर यहाँ एक चीज आई कि ये path closed था, है ना. so c is a closed path, so closed path को मैं cyclic integral से denote करता हूँ. so f bar dr bar क्या हो जाएगा? dr bar on space is nothing but dxi plus dyj, correct? dxi plus dyj, because at any point r is equal to xi plus yj, so if you differentiate, dr is equal to dxi plus dyj. Okay, so अगर आपने ये दोनों वेक्टर्स का डॉट प्रोडक्ट लिया तो 2x minus ay dx plus 2y plus ax dy, so इस इंटीग्रल आएगा, करेक्ट. सो यहाँ दो वेरिएबल्स है लेकिन पाथ भी क्लोज था, सो यू कैन ऑब्जर्व क्लियरली this, if you take this as m, because this is in multiplication with dx and this is with n, so this integral is equal to integral over the region r. so dou n by dou x or dou n by dou y? बोलो, dou n by dou x और dou n by dou y? गुड इवनिंग वैभव. सो बताइए, यह dou n by dou x या dou n by dou y? n के साथ x हो जाएगा या y हो जाएगा? नेटफ्लिक्स है ना, करेक्ट? यस, नेटफ्लिक्स. ओके, सो डो एन बाय डो एक्स माइनस डो एम बाय डो वाई dx dy. ओके, सो ये याद रखना है. सो नाउ अगर आपने सॉल्व किया तो इंटीग्रल ओवर द रीजन आर डो एन बाय डो एक्स, यहाँ दिस इज द टर्म, सो डो एन बाय डो एक्स इज नथिंग बट ये माइनस डो एम बाय डो वाई इज माइनस ये. minus a into dx dy. So this is nothing but a minus of minus a is 2 times of a. So 2a is constant. So if you take 2a out, 2a times of integral over the region r dx dy. And this formula, whenever this function is 1 here, then this represents area bounded by c, correct? So this represents area bounded by c. Okay, so area bounded by c. So this integral value is equal to 2a times of, what is the area of this figure? This is a circle, and here this 4 can be written as 2 square. So radius is equal to 2. So वो circle का area क्या होता है? Pi r square. Okay, so pi r square is the area. Now अभी दिया था क्वेश्चन में, इस इंटीग्रल का पूरा वैल्यू कितना है? 16 pi. So अगर इस वैल्यू को हमें 16 pi से इक्वल करना है तो pi gets cancelled. 2 4s are 8. 8 cancels 16 2 times. So a is equal to 2, correct? So यहाँ मॉड्यूलस भी पूछा था, ठीक है? Anyhow, this is a positive number, so a is equal to 2 is the correct answer. Clear? Okay. Look, whatever the path they give you, अगर आपने ये लाइन इंटीग्रल कैलकुलेट किया तो आपको वर्क इंटरेक्शन मिलेगा, ठीक है? Generally, even in space. So which all years question paper should I solve for XCTD, SOM and XC Maths? Which all year papers are important? It's not like important. Generally, they get distributed uniformly, so you can attend these sessions. Okay, because here anyhow we are solving the PYQs. Correct? Sunil, so Sudipta, Himanshu, Nevan, all of you. So basically, this is actually the correct answer. Okay. So next, मैट्रिसेस. कल हमें मैट्रिसेस से क्वेश्चन मिस किया था, है ना? सो थोड़ा सा आइगन वैल्यूज का क्वेश्चन किया, लेकिन अभी मैंने सिस्टम ऑफ इक्वेशंस लाया था आपको. सो लेट आर एंड एस बी द रियल नंबर्स. If A is this matrix and B is equal to 1, 1, S minus 1, then the system of equations has no solution, infinitely many solutions, unique solution, infinitely many solutions. Okay. So by पहली बार आया का क्लास. Okay. Look. Okay, fine. Let us see here. So आपको अगर इस सिस्टम है तो लुक मैं आपको पढ़ाता हूं थोड़ा सा कॉन्सेप्ट. नॉर्मली इक्वेशंस हमको ऐसा लगेगा, a12 इंटू वाई प्लस a13 इंटू जेड इज इक्वल टू b1, a21 इंटू एक्स प्लस a22 इंटू वाई प्लस a23 इंटू जेड इज इक्वल टू b2, a231 इंटू एक्स प्लस a32 इंटू वाई प्लस a33 इंटू जेड इज इक्वल टू b3. सो इस इक्वेशन को हमें ऐसे लिखते हैं, a11, a12, a13, a21, a22, a23, a31, a32, a33. This multiplied with x, y, z is equal to b1, b2, b3, है ना? So अगर आपने ये लेफ्ट साइड दोनों मैट्रिसेस को मल्टीप्लाई किया तो हमको 3 एलिमेंट्स आएगा, करेक्ट? क्योंकि इस मैट्रिक्स का साइज 3/3 है एंड यहाँ 3/1. सो अगर आप ये दोनों मैट्रिक्स को मल्टीप्लाई किया तो आपका रिजल्टेंट मैट्रिक्स का साइज कितना आता है? 3/1, है ना? एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो 3/1. सो अगर आपने एलिमेंट्स इक्वेट किया तो द सेम इक्वेशंस आएगा, है ना? सो नाउ इफ यू सी दिस, वी कैन से दिस एज Ax is equal to B. This matrix is A, which is called coefficient matrix. क्योंकि ये मैट्रिक्स में सारे एलिमेंट्स क्या है, इस इक्वेशंस में वेरिएबल्स का कोएफिशिएंट्स क्या हो जाएगा? सेम एलिमेंट्स. ओके, सो कोएफिशिएंट मैट्रिक्स एंड दिस इज वेरिएबल मैट्रिक्स, क्योंकि दिस सॉल्यूशन ऑफ इक्वेशंस मॉडल बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट है गेट एग्जाम में. सो इसलिए मैंने 2 मिनट लेके थोड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट भी बताता हूँ एंड कंडीशंस भी बताता हूँ आपको लोग को. ओके, सो दिस इज वेरिएबल मैट्रिक्स and this B is constant matrix. Okay, so this is constant matrix. Okay, so now if you see augmentation, ये word पता है किसी को? Augmentation. सुनील, come on, type in the chat box. What is augmentation actually? Augmentation का मीनिंग क्या है? Anyone? English. हम aptitude भी पढ़ाएंगे, ठीक है? So what is the meaning of augmentation actually? A augmented with B. Cut. Augmentation means addition. Okay, joining. Okay, so basically if you see A augmented B is nothing but this is equal to A11, A12, A13, B1, A21, A22, A23, B2, and A31, A32, A33, B3. Okay, so इस मैट्रिक्स को बोलते हैं कि ऑगमेंटेशन मैट्रिक्स. ओके, सो अगर इस मैट्रिक्स ऑगमेंटेशन मैट्रिक्स है तो फॉर यूनिक सॉल्यूशन rank of A, so A matrix is this coefficient matrix, is equal to rank of A augmented B is equal to 3. एक्चुअली अगर सिस्टम में 3 से ज्यादा वेरिएबल्स है तो दिस इज एक्चुअली नंबर ऑफ अननोन्स. ओके, सो लेट अस राइट दैट दिस शुड बी इक्वल टू, फॉर यूनिक सॉल्यूशन, rank of A should be equal to rank of A augmented B is equal to number of unknowns. इस इक्वेशंस में 3 unknowns था एक्चुअली. And for infinitely many solutions, for infinitely many solutions, for infinitely many solutions, rank of A is equal to rank of A augmented B. लेकिन ये दोनों का वैल्यूज लेस देन नंबर ऑफ अननोन्स आते हैं. ठीक है, सो नंबर लेस देन नंबर ऑफ अननोन्स. ओके, एंड for no solution, for no solution, rank of A is not equal to rank of A augmented B. ये तीनों कंडीशंस बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन हर 2-3 साल में डेफिनेटली वन टाइम दे आस्क यू क्वेश्चंस ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स. ओके, एंड वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग हियर इज, जब मैं क्रैश कोर्स लेता हूँ लेकिन थोड़ा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कोर्स लेता हूँ, तब ये सभी इक्वेशंस को मैंने थोड़ा ग्राफ्स बना के, स्ट्रेट लाइंस बना के एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ. ठीक है, पर लेकिन अभी तक टाइम थोड़ा कम है, सो इसलिए आपने ये इक्वेशंस याद रख लो. ठीक है, सो व्हाट शुड बी द अप्रॉक्सिमेट एक्सेस स्कोर ऑफ रैंक और रैंक फॉर एमटेक इन एरोस्पेस इन आईआईटी मद्रास? अराउंड 700. ओके, अच्छा, आई विल डू वन थिंग. आईआईटी मद्रास के लिए मैं आपको कुछ बताता हूँ बीच में, मींस आफ्टर 2 आवर्स और समथिंग, मैं आईआईटी मद्रास प्रीवियस ईयर्स का एमटेक वेबसाइट ओपन करके मैं आपको कट ऑफ्स दिखाता हूँ. ठीक है, फाइन. सो let us see here. So these 3 equations are very much important. Okay, so please keep these equations in mind, because right now I am not able to derive them actually because time is very short. So so please keep these equations in mind. Definitely in future when I take crash course or some comprehensive course, I'll show these equations with the help of graphs for you. Okay, with the straight lines and all these things. Clear? Now let us get back to the story here. So this coefficient matrix is this and B is this. Then the system of equations Ax is equal to B has no solutions for S not equal to 2 are infinitely many solutions for S equal to 2 are not equal to 2. A unique solution for S is equal to 2R is equal to 2, and this S is equal to 2R is equal to 2. Okay, so in exam they ask consistent, inconsistent, trivial solutions. What are they? I'll explain you. Okay, so ये question के बाद मैं आपको explain करता हूँ. ठीक है, now if you see rank of A is equal to, first of all, matrix A is this. A matrix is 1 2 0 2 0 3 RS 0. Now A augmented B is equal to 1 2 0 2 0 3 RS 0, and A column matrix होता है कि 1 1 S minus 1. Now नॉर्मली ये 3/3 की मैट्रिक्स को रैंक कैसे पता चलेगा हमको? नॉर्मली अगर मैट्रिक्स में बहुत ज्यादा साइज है तो लुक, नॉर्मली यू कैन नॉट कैलकुलेट द डिटरमिनेंट्स कंटिन्यूअसली. ओके, सो रैंक कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हमारे साथ एक एक्सीलेंट कॉन्सेप्ट था. क्या है? क्या है बोलिए? सो बेसिकली वी हैव सीन दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रो एक्लियन फॉर्म, है ना? वी हैव सीन दिस कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रो एक्लियन फॉर्म ऑफ ए मैट्रिक्स, है ना? So let us see one thing, row echelon form, correct? So basically we have to calculate the row echelon form of the matrix, correct? So now let us try to do the row echelon form of this matrix. Let us try to convert these two matrices into row echelon form. Okay, reduced row echelon form, whatever. So now if you see this, if I try to convert this A to row echelon form, then second row is equal to 2 times minus first row. Okay, let us take a new slide. So basically see here, J is equal to 1 matrix क्या है? 1 2 0 2 0 3 1 2 0 2 0 3 and RS 0 RS 0. Okay, and A augmented B, because यहाँ सारे मिलेगा अगर मैं लिखा तो 1 2 0 2 0 3 and RS 0 1 1 S minus 1, है ना? This is the matrix 1 1 S minus 1. Now let us try to convert this matrix A to row echelon form. Okay, so now if you see R2 second row changes to R2 minus 2R1, क्योंकि रो इक्विवेलेंट फॉर्म में हमारा पहला इंटरेस्ट है कि ए एलिमेंट को 0 करना है, ये दोनों एलिमेंट्स का, है ना? सो R3 इज इक्वल टू R3 माइनस R टाइम्स ऑफ R1. सो अगर आपने ये दोनों ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन अप्लाई किया तो देन डेफिनेटली ये दोनों एलिमेंट्स 0 हो जाएगा, है ना? सो लेट अस अप्लाई. ये इज इक्वलेंट टू फर्स्ट रो में कोई ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, सो 1 2 0, 2 minus 1, 2 minus 2 times of 1 0, then 0 minus 2 times of 2 minus 4, 3 minus 2 times of 0, so 3. लेकिन यहाँ r minus r times of 1 0, s minus r times of 2, so s minus 2r and s minus 2 times of r, okay, 0 minus 3 r times of 0, so this is 0 actually here. Okay, now let us transform this also, a augmented with b. Similarly यहाँ पे ये दोनों एलिमेंट्स इक्वल टू 0 करना है तो सेम ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, सो 1 2 0, 0 minus 4 3, 0 s minus r 0 and ये दोनों एलिमेंट्स r2 minus 2 times of r1. Okay, so when you do r2 minus 2 times of r1, this is minus 1 and this s minus 1 minus r times of 1, so this gives you s minus r minus 1 actually here, s minus r minus 1. Now let us check the options first of all. Okay, so let us check the options clearly. So if you check the options, then no solutions for s is equal to 2r. Let us suppose if s is equal to 2r, for example. Okay, if s is equal to 2r, for example. Okay, now if s is equal to 2r, this element becomes 0, correct? This element becomes 0 actually here. लेकिन this matrix is not in row echelon form, correct? Because हमको पता नहीं चला कि other this element is 0 or not. Okay, so we have to apply one more transformation actually here, and here also we have to go for one more transformation because row echelon form में अगर यहाँ एक ही 0 है तो यहाँ दो zeros होना चाहिए, correct? So let us see, if s is equal to 2r, for example, rank of a is equal to 2, है ना? So if s is equal to 2r, then this complete row becomes 0, then the rank, there are two non-zero rows in this matrix, so rank of a will be equal to 2 here, correct? So if s is equal to 2r here, let us see, if s is equal to 2r, if s is equal to 2r, then this element is non-zero, so this is not in row echelon form, so let us make this row echelon form. So let us apply some transformation here basically. Okay, so for rank of a augmented b is equal to 2, is equal to 2, s minus r is equal to, and basically you can observe one thing, this matrix is actually equal to rank of a augmented b is equal to 3 if s is equal to r or s is equal to 2r. Whatever you take, this matrix do not have any basically if you see, this elements cannot be 0 at the same time, and also this basically these two elements cannot be 0 at the same time. Okay, so this rank will be 3 and this rank is actually 2. Okay, so if s is equal to 2r is equal to 2 actually, so if s is equal to 2r, this rank of a is equal to 2. If s is equal to 2r is equal to 2 means if s is equal to 2 and r is equal to 1 actually here. Okay, so if s is equal to 2 and r is equal to 1, 2 minus 1 minus 1, this is 0 and this value will be something which is non-zero. Okay, so we have to write then s minus 2r in a augmented b. So 2r ho shayad. Okay, so something I missed. Okay, s minus 2r, correct, s minus 2r. Okay, so then this will be wrong because I have written s minus r, same matrix na, this element will come here. Okay, fine, s minus 2r. If s minus 2r is equal to 0, this implies rank of a is equal to 3. Okay, so and also s minus r minus 1 is equal to 0, this implies rank of a is equal to 2 actually here, correct? So rank of a is 2. Now let us see one thing, if s is equal to, if s is equal to 2r is equal to 2 means s is equal to 2r is equal to 2. What is the meaning of this s is equal to 2r is equal to 2? S minus 2r will be 0, so this element will become 0, and whenever s is equal to 2 and r is equal to 1, this element will also become 0. Okay, so at this condition, this last row will become 0 actually. Okay, so whenever this row becomes 0, then definitely the rank of this matrix will also become 2. Then let us say this step, at this condition, rank of this augmented matrix will also become 2. Okay, so that's how ranks of these two matrices are same, but it is actually less than number of unknowns. Okay, so that's why this option D is actually correct answer. Okay, so when s is equal to 2r is equal to 2, it don't have a unique solution, it has infinitely many solutions. Whenever this is equal to 2, then only it has infinitely many solutions, and no solutions if not equal to 2r. No, in this case this is also wrong option, correct? So option D is actually the correct answer in this case. Clear? Okay, So just type in the chat box, because if S is equal to 2i is equal to 2, then this last row becomes 0 and this last row also becomes 0. So rank of both these matrices will be 2 and ranks of these two matrices are equal, but at the same time they are less than the number of unknowns. Okay, so that's why they have infinitely many solutions. When S is equal to 2r, that's equal to 2. Okay, because yesterday आप लोग ने पूछा था कि सर थोड़ा टफ क्वेश्चंस लाइए, so मैंने ये क्वेश्चन लाया था. ठीक है, you have to check the options. Fine. Okay, लेकिन नॉन ट्रिवियल सॉल्यूशन, लुक, हाँ ये नॉन ट्रिवियल सॉल्यूशन का बात क्या है, आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू. फाइन सर, होमोजेनियस के सिस्टम के लिए बताइए. ओके, आई विल टेल यू, नो इश्यू. लुक, नॉर्मली ये सिस्टम है ना, ये सिस्टम को हम बोलते हैं कि नॉन होमोजेनियस इक्वेशंस, क्योंकि अगर आपने इस सिस्टम को इक्वेशंस लिखा तो राइट साइड कांस्टेंट्स मिलेगा, है ना. सो इक्वेशन, फॉर एग्जांपल फर्स्ट इक्वेशन लिखा तो x प्लस 2y इज इक्वल टू 1. सो इस इक्वेशन में x प्लस 2y माइनस 1 इज इक्वल टू 0. इस इक्वेशन में ये फर्स्ट टर्म का डिग्री 1, करेक्ट, सेकंड टर्म का डिग्री भी 1 है, लेकिन दिस इज अ कांस्टेंट. सो इस इक्वेशन में तीनों टर्म्स का डिग्री सेम नहीं है ना. पहले दो टर्म्स का डिग्री 1 एंड आखिरी टर्म का डिग्री 0, क्योंकि लास्ट टर्म इज अ कांस्टेंट. ओके, सो इसलिए इस इक्वेशन को हम बोलते हैं कि नॉन होमोजेनियस इक्वेशन, नॉन होमोजेनियस इक्वेशन. सो ये रिजल्ट नॉन होमोजेनियस इक्वेशन के लिए ये कंडीशंस सारे अप्लाई हो गए. सो b1 b2 b3 आर देयर. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज नॉट, बेसिकली दिस सिस्टम्स आर कॉल्ड नॉन होमोजेनियस इक्वेशंस एंड दीस आर द कंडीशंस. मान लो कि अगर ये तीन कांस्टेंट्स b1 b2 b3 zeros, सो तब क्या हो जाएगा, अगर b1 b2 b3 इफ ऑल आर zeros, ये मैट्रिक्स 0 हो जाएगा. yes or no? Correct? Try to understand the logic. I'll tell you. See, whenever b1 is 0, b2 is 0 and b3 is 0, then this matrix will be a 0 matrix, है ना. Yes or no? Type in the chat box. Come on, quickly type in the chat box. All of you quickly type in the chat box. Can I say if b1 b2 b3 are zeros, then this matrix will be a 0 matrix? Then अगर इस मैट्रिक्स 0 हुआ तो ये सब कॉलम में all these entries 0 हो जाएगा ना, correct? So this matrix will be 0. Now if you calculate rank, this rank of A augmented B will depend upon this case. Okay, so means this rank of A augmented B will depend upon this determinant of A. That's why in case of homogeneous systems ये last option नहीं मिलेगा हमको. Okay, because this rank of A augmented B will depend upon rank of A. That's why these two will always be equal in case of homogeneous systems. Okay, so whenever they are equal, then definitely there are only two possibilities. One is either यूनिक सॉल्यूशन मिलेगा, नहीं तो इन्फिनिटली मेनी सॉल्यूशंस मिलेगा, है ना. सो अगर आपको यूनिक सॉल्यूशन चाहिए तो रैंक ऑफ ए should be equal to rank of A augmented B is equal to number of unknowns. Okay, so for example in this question 3, अगर मान लो कि अगर रैंक ऑफ ए 3 होना चाहिए, then determinant of A 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. yes or no? Correct? If you want rank of A to be 3, then determinant of A should not be 0, है ना. कोएफिशिएंट मैट्रिक्स का determinant 0 should not be, it should not be 0, correct? So इसलिए अगर योर होमोजेनियस सिस्टम में डिटर्मिनेंट ऑफ ये 0 हो गया तो आपको सिर्फ एक ही सॉल्यूशन मिलेगा, एंड वो सॉल्यूशन होता है कि ट्रिवियल सॉल्यूशन. x इक्वल टू 0, y इज इक्वल टू 0, z इज इक्वल टू 0. इसको बोलते हैं कि ट्रिवियल सॉल्यूशन, ट्रिवियल सॉल्यूशन. ठीक है, व्हाट्स द मीनिंग ऑफ ट्रिवियल? Whatever might be the coefficients, 0 0 0 is always a solution of this equation. yes or no? अगर ये तीनों कांस्टेंट zeros है तो a1 a2 a3 all these whatever might be the 9 values, definitely this is always a solution of this system of equations, correct? yes or no? So that's why that solution is the unique solution and it's called trivial solution if this condition happens, okay, that a not equal to 0. Now मान लो कि if rank of a is 2 for example, okay, it is less than 3. let us suppose if this is 2, if this is 2, okay. Now if this is 2 actually here, okay, if this is 2, determinant of A should be 0 or less than 0? Sorry, it should be 0 or not equal to 0. If rank of A has to be 2, something less than 3 actually, okay, then what should be the determinant of A? 0, है ना. So for non-trivial solution, for non-trivial solution, for non-trivial solution, that A should be equal to 0. Okay, so that's what you actually see. Okay, so if you want to have a non-trivial solution in homogeneous system of equations, definitely the determinant of your coefficient matrix has to be 0. Clear? Yes or no? So please type in the chat box. It should be a singular matrix. Okay, fine. Okay, like this point, all of you, did you all enjoy this point actually? Because many times it's a doubt like this. Okay, but if you observe by this concept of rank, you can easily decide whether the matrix has to be singular or non-singular. Clear? So how did we judge about determinant? Because अगर determinant 0 हुआ तो then definitely rank 3 से कम होता है ना. Clear? So let's go for the next question. So finally हमें ये question solve किया था ना. So option D is the correct answer for this. Okay. So solve कर लो ये इंटीग्रल का. इंटीग्रल 2013 में आया था. इंटीग्रल 0 to 1 dt by square root of minus log t to the base e. Okay, so this is the integration. So solve कर लो. मैंने आप सभी को 2 मिनट देता हूं. So इस इंटीग्रल सॉल्व करके आंसर बताइए. बी इतने जल्दी से सॉल्व किया कैसे? पता है आंसर? ट्रांसपोज ऑफ ए इज इक्वल टू एडजॉइंट ऑफ ए? नो. ओके, दैट इज नॉट द केस. ट्रांसपोज अलग है एंड एडजॉइंट अलग है. ओके, सो सी हियर, मैं आपको पढ़ाता हूं. बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. एक्चुअली इस क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के लिए हमको गामा फंक्शन जानना चाहते हैं. सो गामा फंक्शन क्या है? इंटीग्रल 0 टू इंफिनिटी e power minus x into x power n minus 1 dx. This is gamma function actually. Okay, so this is denoted with gamma n. Okay, so this is gamma n. Okay, so gamma n is integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into x power n minus 1 dx. Okay, trivial means all are necessarily equal to 0. Yes, exactly. Okay, now if you see this, let minus log t to the base e is equal to x. Okay, so minus log t to the base e is equal to x. So then if you see this log t to the base e is equal to minus x. So t होता है कि e power minus x है ना. So dt क्या होता है? minus e power minus x dx. Okay, then lower limits and upper limits. Okay, so lower limit and upper limit ये दोनों कैसे चेंज होते हैं? Lower limit is t is equal to 0. So this implies x is equal to minus log t to the base e. So x is equal to minus log 0 to the base e. So this value is infinity. क्योंकि why this value is infinity? Because अगर आपने log x का ग्राफ बनाया तो 0 x y and वैसे होता है ना. So when x is tending to 0, this log x function goes to minus infinity. Okay, so इसलिए ये value minus infinity. So minus of minus infinity gives you plus infinity. Okay, then upper limit क्या है? t is equal to 1. So x is equal to minus log t to the base e. log 1 is 0. Okay, so now अगर आप ये चारों रिजल्ट्स को इस इंटीग्रेशन में सब्स्टिट्यूट किया तो I is equal to integral lower limit got converted to infinity, upper limit got converted to 0, dt is minus e power minus x dx divided by square root of t. Okay, square root of x actually here. Okay, so this is square root of x. Now if you see using this minus sign, मैं इस दोनों लिमिट्स को उल्टा करता हूं. ठीक है, सो क्योंकि using this minus sign I can shift these limits. Integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into x power minus 1 by 2 dx. So this we can write it as integral 0 to infinity e power minus x into just a minute, ये छोटा सा याद आया था. So x power 1 by 2 minus 1 dx. So this is gamma 1 by 2 actually. Okay, and gamma 1 by 2 का value is root pi. Okay, so gamma of 1 by 2 is basically square root of pi. So इसलिए square root of pi is the correct answer here. Okay, so this is square root of pi. Guys, look, I am not able to show this result right now because to get this integral, to get this gamma function value, means basically to get this integral value, I have to do this result. Integral 0 to infinity e power minus of x square plus y square dx dy. Okay, so this result will be equal to pi. Okay, so this is what you will get actually. So I have to show this integral which is not simple. Again we need to go for some polar coordinate conversion. So मैं अभी नहीं करता हूँ, ठीक है, लेकिन ये रिजल्ट याद में रखिए. गामा ऑफ 1 by 2 is root pi. Okay, gamma of minus 1 by 2 is minus 2 root pi. ये दोनों वैल्यूज थोड़े इंपॉर्टेंट है आपको. ओके, नॉर्मली ये वैल्यूज न्यूमेरिकल इंटीग्रेशन से आते हैं, सो यू कैन कीप दिस इन माइंड. आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ ट्रांसपोज ऑफ ए इज इक्वल टू adjoint of A. No, they are not equal. Okay, eigenvalues of matrix and transpose are equal, but eigenvalues of adjoint I have given some properties yesterday, so कल के लेक्चर में मिलेगा आपको. ठीक है, I am engineering hub student sir. Oh, thank you. So how to identify it as gamma functions? Because whenever inside the integration, if limits are going from 0 to infinity and if there is e power minus x, then definitely try to convert that to this gamma function. Okay, that's a simple way you can actually do that. And also अगर आपको थोड़ा मैथ्स में नॉलेज बहुत ज्यादा है तो यू कैन ऑल्सो सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन यूजिंग लैपलास ट्रांसफॉर्म्स. ओके, पर लेकिन मैं अभी लैपलास ट्रांसफॉर्म्स तक नहीं चलेगा, मैं आपको सिर्फ रिजल्ट ही देता हूं. ठीक है, फाइन. सो प्लीज टाइप इन द चैट बॉक्स. फाइन. ओके, सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, राइट? यस, सो स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ पाई इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Please forgive me if I am speaking some mistakes in Hindi, okay, because I am trying it for the first time. So please excuse me if I am speaking something wrong in Hindi, okay. So how to identify that? We have to apply gamma function, because अगर आपने इस माइनस को हटाने के लिए ये सब्स्टिट्यूशन बनाया तो लिमिट्स 0 to infinity आएगा, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली ये e पावर माइनस एक्स यहां दिखाएगा. ठीक है, सो ये दोनों से हमको पकड़ना है कि ये गामा फंक्शन का क्वेश्चन है. Okay, fine. So let's continue to the next question. Euler's method. One simple question set किया मैंने. Using Euler's method, solve the differential equation dy by dx is equal to 2 cos 4 pi x by 3 minus y, where y of 0 is equal to 1. Step size is 0.25. Value of y 0.5 is 1. Okay. So Euler's method का integration, I mean iterative step क्या होते हैं? Euler's method देता है कि अगर आपके साथ एक डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन है तो dy by dx is equal to some function of x comma y, फर्स्ट ऑर्डर डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन. ओके, सो Euler's मेथड आता है कि yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus, okay, so yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus h into dy by dx, which is f of x comma y. So this is actually the forward Euler. पता है फॉर्मूला सभी को? सभी लोग को ये फॉर्मूला पता है ना? yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus h into f of xi yi. Okay, so here it is xi comma yi, f of xi comma yi, f of xi comma yi actually here. पता है ना? कितने लोगों को नहीं पता है? सीधा बोलिए, कितने लोगों को ये Euler's मेथड का फॉर्मूला नहीं पता है और कितने लोग नहीं जानते इस फॉर्मूला को? इट्स ओके, अगर आपको कुछ भी डाउट है तो मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करता हूं. ठीक है, ओके, मयंक, मनोज, वैभव. ओके गाइस, आई विल टेक 2 मिनट टू एक्सप्लेन यू दिस फॉर्मूला. ओके, सो सी, मान लो कि आपके साथ एक फंक्शन था y. सो दिस इज ए फंक्शन. सो लेट अस सपोज यू आर प्लॉटिंग दिस पॉइंट्स x1 x2 x3 एंड सो ऑन. सो यहां आपको आया था कि xi, ओके, xi. ओए, why this line is coming? Just a minute. Okay, so let us suppose this is xi. Okay, so this is xi, so definitely this guy here is yi. Okay, now let us suppose थोड़ा सा स्टेप साइज लिया था आपने. so this is xi plus 1. okay, next step value. so similarly this is yi plus 1. now हमको क्या पता है? dy by dx is equal to limit delta x tends to 0 delta y by delta x, है ना? ये पता है ना सभी लोगों को? so basically dy by dx is nothing but change in y by change in x. okay, so अगर आपने फंक्शन में थोड़ा सा x चेंज किया तो y का चेंज कितना हो जाएगा? that's what we calculate by dy by dx, है ना? so now if you see this delta y by delta x, इस छोटे जगह में delta y डिफरेंस क्या होता है? yi plus 1 minus yi, है ना? x का डिफरेंस क्या होता है? xi plus 1 minus xi, एंड ये दोनों का डिफरेंस हम कहते हैं कि स्टेप साइज h, है ना? सो दिस गैप इज एक्चुअली h. नाउ इफ यू सी केयरफुली, dy by dx हमको एक फंक्शन दिया था, सो f of x comma y. सो अगर आप ये फर्स्ट टर्म एंड लास्ट टर्म को इक्वेट किया तो f of x comma y into h, एंड दिस इज फंक्शनल वैल्यू एट दिस पॉइंट, करेक्ट. सो dy by dx हमें कहां लेते हैं, ये दोनों पॉइंट्स के बीच में लेते हैं. सो dy by dx यहां इस पॉइंट पर कैलकुलेट करना है. सो दिस इज xi yi. ओके, सो xi comma yi into h is equal to yi plus 1 minus yi. So yi plus 1 is equal to yi plus h into f of xi yi. And a formula and this both are same. Okay, so this is basically from simple calculus. Okay, the basic concept of understanding of a derivative. Okay, so if you know the concept of derivative, then you can simplify this equation. Okay, so this is how we actually find this yi plus 1 values by different steps. Fine. So now if you see, given at x is equal to 0, y का value कितना दिया था, 1. So this implies y of step size कितना है, 0.25 ना. So y of 0.25 is equal to y at 0 plus step size 0.25 into okay, so if we see here into this f of x, so 2 cos 4 pi xi, so xi value is 0 actually, divided by 3 minus y, which is 1 actually here. Okay, so this is 1. So this is how we got the values. Okay, now if you see this, cos 0 is 1, so this term is actually 1. So 2 minus 1, 1 into 0.25, 0.25. So y of 0 is 1, 1 plus 0.25. So this is 1.25. Okay, then next step 0.5, because step size is 0.25. So from 0 we went to 0.25, from 0.25 we'll go to 0.5. Okay, so y of 0.5 is equal to y of 0.25 plus step size is 0.25 into 2 times cos 4 pi x 4 pi x by 3 minus yi. Okay, so what is yi actually? So y of 0.25 is 1.25. So this is 1.25. So इस value को हमें calculator से calculate करना है. So let us see, this is the value of y of 0.5. So what is y of 0.25? 1.25. This is 0.25. Now this value is actually, if you see carefully here, this 0.25 and 4 gets cancelled. So cos pi by 3. So cos 60 is 1 by 2. So this value is 1. 1 minus 1.25. Okay, so minus 0.25. Anyhow, let us calculate this. y of 0.5. y of 0.5 कितना है, मैं कैलकुलेटर लेके कैलकुलेट करता हूं. Gate calculator. Okay, so now let us calculate this question. So basically y of 0.25, 1.25. So 1.25 plus 0.25 into 0.25 into 0.25 into, so this is 2 cos pi by 3. So cos 60 is 1 by 2. So this is 1 minus 1.25. So minus 0.25 minus 0.25. So if this value is calculated, 1.1875. Okay, so 1.1875 is the correct answer here. Okay, so 1.1875. So option B. Yes, very good. All of you, whoever has told B, B is actually the correct answer. So is this clear to all of you? Yes, B is the correct answer. Okay, B is correct answer. Yes, B is correct answer. 1.1875. Okay, but did you all understand how do you apply the Euler method actually? That's the main thing. Okay, so how this formula will last long? So please tell such info to remember formula. Acha, now this formula, how this formula? Okay, now this formula will last long. Okay, good, no issues. Okay, so as I told you, न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स एक बोइंग सब्जेक्ट नहीं है एक्चुअली. ओके, न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स मैथ्स में सबसे ज्यादा पावरफुल टॉपिक है. ओके, सो अगर हम क्वेश्चंस को नॉर्मल एनालिटिक मेथड से सॉल्व नहीं किया तो भी न्यूमेरिकल मेथड से सॉल्व करते हैं मेनी टाइम्स. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल एक अगर मैंने एक इक्वेशन दिया तो ऐसे, किसी के पास ये इक्वेशन सॉल्व करने के लिए डायरेक्ट फॉर्मूला है क्या? नहीं है ना, पर लेकिन इस सॉल्यूशन को हमें न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स में सॉल्व करते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई न्यूमेरिकल मेथड्स इज वन ऑफ द पावरफुल टॉपिक एक्चुअली. ओके, एंड हमारे सारे सिमुलेशन टूल्स, मैटलैब, you know, whatever you say, MATLAB analysis normally if you do ANSYS, okay, or if you do workspace, okay, and if you talk about this gate calculators, everything, they work on numerical methods. Okay, fine. So Suman, basically what I have done is y at this next location is equal to y at the previous location plus h into this function value at the previous location. Okay, so if x is 0, then if you go with a step size of 0.25 from x, we move to 0.25, then from 0.25 you move to 5. Okay, so that's how I have calculated these values. Clear? Now let us go for the next question. Eigenvalues, eigenvectors. For a matrix M 1 4 5 0 2 6 0 0 3, consider the following statements. 2012 में आया था. First statement is 3 is an eigenvalue of M, Q is an eigenvector, R is an eigenvector. Okay, which of the above statements are true? P and Q but not R, Q and R but not P, P and R but not Q, P, Q and R, all are correct. Okay, so is Laplace transform in X syllabus? No, but some integrals which are calculated using Laplace transforms once or twice, that too in old papers, they came in exam. Okay, but now officially syllabus में Laplace transform, X का syllabus में Laplace transforms नहीं है. ठीक है? So now if you see, for पहले eigenvalues में हमें ध्यान रखते हैं, M is equal to 1 4 5 0 2 6 0 0 3. So this is actually a diagonal matrix. This is upper triangular matrix. Upper triangular matrix, है ना? So this is upper triangular matrix. So आप बोलिए अपर ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स या लोअर ट्रायंगुलर मैट्रिक्स या डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स, इन तीनों मैट्रिसेस में आइगन वैल्यूज क्या होते हैं? अपर ट्रायंगुलर, लोअर ट्रायंगुलर, डायगोनल, एनी ऑफ द डायगोनलाइजेशन, व्हाट आर द आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर मैट्रिसेस? प्रिंसिपल डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स, है ना? सो प्रिंसिपल डायगोनल एलिमेंट्स आर द आइगन वैल्यूज ऑफ एनी अपर ट्रायंगुलर, लोअर ट्रायंगुलर और दिस डायगोनल मैट्रिसेस. ओके, सो lambda 1 Isha bhai Chaudhary, but sir I am opting for GATE biotechnology and engineering mathematics, Laplace transforms also come. Okay, maybe sometimes they are asking, but officially in syllabus not there. Okay, so basically यहाँ lambda 1 is equal to 1, lambda 2 is equal to 2 and lambda 3 is equal to 3. I'll tell you, let me ask this question. मान लो कि मैट्रिक्स प्रिंसिपल डायगोनल मैट्रिक्स नहीं है. ओके, सो तब कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? अगर मान लो कि ये मैट्रिक्स अपर ट्रायंगुलर, लोअर ट्रायंगुलर, डायगोनल, ये स्पेशल केसेस में कुछ भी नहीं है, सो तब उस टाइम पे हम आइगन वैल्यूज कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? आप आइगन वैल्यूज कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन. ओ माय गॉड, व्हाट इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन? What is characteristic equation? A minus lambda I, determinant of A minus lambda I is equal to 0, correct? So इस इक्वेशन को इस इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करके हमको आइगन वैल्यूज मिलते हैं, है ना? सो आई जस्ट वांट टू आस्क वन क्वेश्चन. कैन एनीवन टेल मी व्हाई यू आर मेकिंग दिस टू 0 टू कैलकुलेट आइगन वैल्यूज? कौन बताया आपको ये 0 करना है? Why this determinant has to be 0? Anyone? Sum and product? Okay, we'll see. So, but tell me, who told you that this determinant has to be 0? No, Cayley-Hamilton theorem, nothing has anything to do with. Okay, every matrix satisfies its characteristic equation, but characteristic equation is not defined by Cayley-Hamilton theorem. Okay. Yes, very good. Gaurav Singh, system of homogeneous equations. Okay, normally बहुत सारे लोग ये कहते हैं कि पहले आइगन वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट करते हैं, उस आइगन वैल्यूज से आइगन वेक्टर्स बनाते हैं, लेकिन क्या है ना, देखो ये x इज इक्वल टू लैम्डा x, है ना? दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ आइगन वेक्टर. सो दिस इज इक्वल टू ये x माइनस लैम्डा x इज इक्वल टू 0. सो दिस इज इक्वल टू ये माइनस लैम्डा i टाइम्स ऑफ x इज इक्वल टू 0. नाउ दिस इज homogeneous system of equations, है ना? Just now I have told you this system is actually homogeneous system of equations, correct? This homogeneous system of equations यहाँ हम clearly mention करते हैं कि eigen vector 0 नहीं हो जाएगा, है ना? We'll write this. So if this x is not equal to 0, that means this system has non-trivial solution. Yes or no? Correct? If you see carefully, this system should have x is not equal to 0. That means this system has non-trivial solution, है ना? ऐसा हो ना? Correct? इस सिस्टम को non-trivial solution should be there ना? Correct? If the system should have non-trivial solution, that means the system has infinitely many solutions. So basically इसका determinant 0 होना चाहिए जरूर. So यहाँ से we write this equation. Okay? पर लेकिन हमें डेली प्रैक्टिस में क्या करते हैं, हमें इस इक्वेशन से आइगन वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट करके तब आइगन वेक्टर्स निकलता हूं, लेकिन इस इक्वेशन इस कंडीशन से आया था, ठीक है। सो थोड़ा सा इंफॉर्मेशन, दैट्स इट, फाइन। बिकॉज बहुत सारे लोग को पता है कि डेट ऑफ ए माइनस लैम्डा इज 0 करना है, पर लेकिन बहुत कम लोग को पता है कि क्यों करना है, ओके। सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज बेसिकली फ्रॉम द सिस्टम ऑफ होमोजेनियस इक्वेशंस, ओके। नाउ एनीवे गेट बैक टू आवर क्वेश्चन। सो लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू 1 2 3। सो पहले आइगन वेक्टर let us calculate. So eigen vectors is basically ax is equal to lambda x. So ये दिया है कि कितना दिया है, ये 145,026,003 है ना, मल्टीप्लाइड विथ x1 x2 x3, lambda x1 lambda x2 lambda x3, okay. So this is the terms. So now if you multiply दोनों sides, x1 plus 4x2 plus 5x3, 2x2 plus 6x3 and 3x3 is equal to lambda x1 plus lambda x2 and lambda x3, okay. So let us suppose if you put x is equal to, if you are calculating this eigenvector at lambda is equal to 3, okay, eigenvector corresponding to lambda is equal to 3, for example, then this becomes 3x1 plus 3x1 3x2 and 3x3, okay. So 3x1 3x2 and 3x3 actually here, okay. So now these two elements are equal anyhow, okay. So do you know Tamil konjam deyum, okay, ella theriyadu. Now see here 3x3 is equal to 3. So now if 3x3 is equal to 3, then whatever the value of x3, these two terms are always same. Then 2x2 plus 6x3 is equal to 3x2. So if you shift x2 here, 6x3 is equal to x2. So x2 is 6 times of x3. Now what about the first equation? x1 plus 4x2 plus 5x3 is equal to 3 times of x1, okay. So 4x2 plus 5x3 is equal to 3 times minus 1, 2 times of x1. So what about 4x2? x2 is equal to 6 times of x3. So 4 into 6, 24 plus 5, 29 times of x3 is equal to 2 times of x1. So x1 is equal to 29 by 2 times x3, okay. So this is what you have actually here, okay. Now if you see, nothing out of these two is actually given in this matrices, okay. So let us calculate then the second case at lambda is equal to 1. So if you take lambda is equal to 1, so x is equal to 3 is not given, so this eigenvector corresponding to 3 is not given in options, okay. So let us calculate eigenvector corresponding to 1, for example, okay. So at lambda is equal to 1, all these values will be 1, okay. So at lambda is equal to 1, x1 x2 x3, okay. Now if you compare, x3 is equal to 0, because if you see in dono options you have last element is equal to 0, so x3 is equal to 0. Now 2x2 is equal to x2, okay. So 2x2 is equal to x2 because x3 is 0, so 2x2 is equal to x2. So this implies x2 is also 0, okay. Then if x2 is 0 and x3 is 0, x1 can be any term, okay. x1 is equal to x1 for any values, okay. So therefore eigenvector corresponding to this is equal to 1 0 0 actually here, okay. So this is one of the eigenvectors for this, because if you see carefully, whenever lambda is equal to 1, then from this equation 3x3 is equal to x3, that means x3 should be 0. If x3 is 0, 2x2 should be equal to x2, then x2 is also 0. If x2 x3 are 0, x1 is equal to x1 for any value of x1, okay. So 1 0 0 or 2 0 0, these all are the eigenvectors. Now only thing that left is x is equal to 2, okay. So if you make x is equal to 2, lambda is equal to 2 actually here, okay. So if you make lambda is equal to 2, if you make lambda is equal to 2, then 2x1 2x2 2x3, okay. So 3x3 is equal to 2x3, so x3 is equal to 0. 2x2 is equal to 2x2 for any value of x, doesn't matter. So x1 plus 4x2 is equal to 2x1 because x3 is 0. So 4x2 is equal to x1, okay. So if you write this eigenvector x1 x2 x3, we get x1 is 4 times of x2. This x2 can be x2 for any value and this is 0. So if you take x2 out, we get 410. So this 410 is actually the eigenvector of this matrix, okay. So 410 and 3. These two are correct, but this is not a eigenvector. Okay, so P and Q are correct, but not R is the correct answer. Okay, so basically we have to check the eigenvectors in this case. Okay, so this was asked in 2012, long back. At that time, gate was probably the descriptive, kind of thing. Fine. Okay, so A is the correct answer here. How many of you got A? So please type in the chat box. How many of you have got option A? Sir, kindly reply. Abhishek Zeold. What did Abhishek Zeold type? Sir, will you teach engineering mathematics in English batches in PW? Yes, of course. Okay. Okay. Now let us see. Continue. So may you repeat? Yeah. Basically, what I have done is, this is the definition of eigenvector. So I have calculated eigenvalues at different eigenvalues, or eigenvectors at different eigenvalues. Okay. So that's how I got the eigenvector value here. That's it. It's simple. If you equate these equations, you will get these values 4, 1, 4x2, x2 and 0. Okay. I have tried to convert everything in terms of x2. So this is 4x2, this is x2 and this is 0. So total, if you take x2 out, 4, 1, 0 is the eigenvector corresponding to this matrix. Okay. Now, okay, fine. Let us see this. For f is equal to x square minus 5xy square. Let us see this. X power 4 minus 5xy square. The direction of maximum increase of f at the point 2 comma 2 is dash. Okay. So what is the maximum increase of f at this point 2 comma 2? Before asking this question, so don't say repeat, you will see in recorded lectures. No, it's not recorded, it will be live lectures. Okay. When will start new batch for GATE 2024 in PW? बहुत सारे बैचेस लॉन्च होते हैं, लेकिन इंग्लिश बैच का डेट मेरे को भी एग्जैक्टली नहीं पता है. आप काउंसलिंग टीम से एक बार कनेक्ट कीजिए, ठीक है. सो नाउ लेट अस कंटिन्यू. Okay, so x power 4 minus 5xy square. Before I tell this question, I want to ask you one general question actually. Look, this is earth, for example, earth. Okay, now let us suppose you have some orbit around earth. Okay, so let us suppose there is some satellite which is revolving around earth. Okay, so let us suppose this is a satellite, there is a satellite. Okay, so I think I have to move this a bit to make it center. Fine. So let us suppose there is a satellite which is moving like this in this orbit. Now when you see satellite launches, if you want to, let us suppose if here you have Sriharikota, for example, actually speaking, if the rocket goes like this perpendicularly, the path is very short, then initially you can start this rotation. But you can never see a rocket launching like this, correct? If you see the launch directions, actually I had the provision to see once, okay, in my life. So basically if you see, this will be taken like this almost, and this will be inserted into the orbit. Yes or no? Have you seen this anywhere? मिशन मंगल मूवी देखा था सभी ने? कितने लोग ने देखा था मिशन मंगल? It will follow azimuthal path, है ना? So basically they won't go in the exactly radial direction, but they will actually try to make it in this direction. Correct? मूवी में देखा था, देखा है ना? हाँ, actual में भी वैसा होता है. Okay, so normally if you see the launch, basically if you see that there is one screen, no, the rocket slowly picks up the signal and it actually goes. Okay, so basically if you see Kerbal Space Program, okay, so right now if you see, the rocket actually goes like this. Did anyone understand why it happens anytime? Because obviously speaking, this path is lengthy, correct? So fuel will be more actually, but actually they follow only this path, but they don't follow this short path. Anyone? Do anyone know the answer why? Anyone? किसी को पता है? Kepler's law? No. Spatial coordinates? No. Yes, exactly. Mayank, high temperature gradient. Okay, I'll tell you one thing. Sudden turn is critical. No, we can do actually. Okay, यहाँ तक straight में लेके इस थोड़ा distance में we can turn it. No issue. Okay, but we don't do that. For increasing in horizontal momentum, no. Actually, temperature gradient, temperature fluctuations handled will be very large. Okay, so I'll explain you what. First, tell me one thing. Temperature is scalar or vector? Temperature is scalar or vector actually? Temperature is scalar or vector? Scalar, na? So basically if you see at any point, all here, this complete space is continuous function. Everywhere, at every point, you have some temperature, correct? So at every point, you have some temperature. So at any point, for example, if you take at any point on the surface, this is a sphere, then whenever if you take a point, the temperature at that radius will be some function. Okay, so like this, we have some function. Now they are asking you the direction of maximum increase of f at the point 2 comma 2. At some point, let us say there is some point here. Now maximum rate of increase will be in the direction of gradient of f at that point. Okay, so at a point will be equal to at that point p actually. Okay, and what is the physical meaning of gradient? It is nothing but the outward normal. Okay, so basically if you see, this gradient is actually the outward normal. So अगर आपने इस function को gradient calculate किया तो grad f is equal to dou by dou x of this quantity 4x cube minus 5y square I plus dou by dou y of this quantity which is minus 10xy j. Okay, so आपको यहाँ चाहिए ना, so del f at 2 comma 2. So 2 comma 2 में वैल्यू कितना होता है? If you put 2 here, 2 cube is 8, 4 8s are 32 minus 5 4s are 20 times I plus minus 10 into 2 into 2. Okay, so 4 j. Okay, so this is 12I minus 40j actually here. Okay, so 12I minus 40j. So basically if you see, out of these options you can write minus 12 plus 40 also, because this is just negative in the direction. Okay, so basically this has two directions, outward normal and inward normal actually. Okay, so both these directions only differ by the sense actually. Okay, so 12y minus 40j, or you can write minus 12y plus 40j also, because if you see, the direction is reverse but the orientation of this line is same actually. Okay, so you can write anything, so 12y minus 40j. Okay, so basically this is the value at which this del f actually changes. Okay, and this is basically called this directional derivative, concept of directional derivative. And directional derivative actually changes in a maximum way when this when vector is along the planet along this normal direction. So that's why when this is a temperature scalar function, the maximum rate of change of temperature will be like this. So if you send the rocket in this direction, the temperature fluctuations handled, because the temperature change will be very much fast in that direction, the rate of increase is very fast. That's why the satellite gets subjected to highly temperature fluctuations. Okay, so that's why we never follow this path and we follow some other path actually. Okay, clear? And almost it is taken almost like azimuthally, like this, almost like this in orbits, and then we will go. Okay, that's what we actually do. Fine. Okay, Kepler laws of planetary motion is basically for the time periods. Okay, is what we use here. Okay, so anyhow, this is some common example I thought of discussing, but normally the normal direction is the high temperature change. Okay, now let's go for the next question. एक अच्छा क्वेश्चन आया था. The exact solution of the integral 0 to 4 x square minus 4 dx is denoted by IE. Exact. The same integral evaluated numerically by the trapezoidal rule and Simpson's one-third rule are denoted by IT and IS respectively. The subinterval used in the numerical methods is h is equal to 2. Then what is the relation between exact value, trapezoidal value and Simpson's value? Okay, that's what they are asking you. Okay, so normally you can solve this question in two ways. First thing, you can calculate Simpson's and trapezoidal rule values, but if you understand what is actually geometrical meaning of trapezoidal rules and Simpson's one-third rules, you can easily answer this question very easily. Look, I'll explain you. So basically if you see x square minus 4, okay, so if you see x square minus 4, the function comes like this. Okay, so at x is equal to 2, this value is 0, then x square minus 4. Okay, so when x is something less than 2, this value is negative. Okay, so x square minus 4, so if x is equal to 0, then y square equal to 4, so minus 2. So let us suppose So I'm trying to generate this. Okay, so both the answer देखना है. So if you see this, the graph will be something like this. This is -2, for example. Y is equal to -2. So the function goes like this. Okay, so 0 to 4. Okay, so 0 to 4. 0 to 4. So this is the function x square minus 4. X square minus 4. So 0 to 4 actually here. So this is the exact area that you get. Now this is actually some parabola. Now try to tell me one thing. This is x is equal to 2. This point is x is equal to 2. And this point is x is equal to 4, for example. Let us say. Now this is actual area. So orange shaded is IE, correct? Whatever you have shaded in orange, that is IE. You will get exact area. Okay. Now if you calculate this 0 to 4, okay, so x square minus 4 basically. Okay, so now if you see, in case of trapezoidal rule, what you do, you will actually connect these points with the help of a straight line, and here also you will connect these 2 points with the help of some straight line actually. Okay, so whenever you connect them with the help of a straight line, then definitely some part of area is lost here and some part of area is actually gained here. Okay, so you have some I trapezoidal and Simpson's. So if you see Simpson's rule, then what happens in a Simpson's rule? Since this function is quadratic function, yesterday I told you, or many times I told you actually, in a quadratic function, for any polynomial, of degree greater than or equal to 2, less than or equal to 2, Simpson's rule and exact value both will be same actually here, correct? So this is what I told you. So IS and IE both will be same actually here, because in case of quadratic functions, your Simpson's rule will actually, quadratic functions or linear functions or constant functions, this Simpson's rule gives exactly actual results. Okay, so that's why first of all one thing is clear, IE and IS will be same. Okay, so IE and IS will be same actually here. IE and IS will be same. Now if you see, IS is greater than IT, IS is actually less than IT. This is what we actually need, correct? Now tell me one thing, if you take this parabola, for example, okay, so you will connect these 2 points with the help of a straight line, and you will connect these 2 points also with the help of some straight line. Okay, because this is actually the parabola. Okay, now if you see carefully, out of this Simpson's means the exact value and the shaded value, which is more? So directly you cannot straight away compare. So let us do one thing, let us calculate the trapezoidal value. Okay, so if you and exact value, so what is exact value? Integral 0 to 4 x square minus 4 dx. So if you do this, this value is x cube by 3 minus 4x within the limits 0 to 4. So this is 64 by 3 minus 16, which is, so basically if you see, 64 by 3 minus 16. Okay, so let us suppose that's the value. The trapezoidal rule, so how do you calculate trapezoidal rule? 0 to 4. So this is 0. So 4 square minus 4, 16 minus 4, 12. And when you put 0 here, x is equal to 0, this is minus 4. So what could be the trapezoidal rule value? IT is equal to h by 2. So step size is 2. So 1 into minus 4 plus 12, 8 minus 2 times of 0. This is 0. This is 8. And this, if you see carefully, 64 by 3 minus 16. So this value is almost some 21 point something. So this is 5 point something actually here. Okay, so 5 point odd is the value. So basically this IT is large. Okay, so this is actually IS and IE are less than IT. So trapezoidal gives actually a slight more value. Clear? Okay, so IE is equal to IS, but both these values are actually less than the trapezoidal value. So B is correct answer. Okay, yeah, B is basically correct answer. Okay, B is the correct answer, of course. So how to remember Simpson's formula? Look, I'll tell you. Trapezoidal I have told, right, yesterday's case. Now let me tell you this Simpson's rule. Simpson's. In Simpson's, first of all, you split into even number of intervals. Okay, so in Simpson's 1/3, of course. you split this to even number of intervals. Why you split it into even number of intervals is, let us suppose if you have this, for example, x, y, and let us suppose there is some function, then you will split this into equal number of even number of intervals. Okay, so that step size is h. Okay, so step size is h. Now in Simpson's one third rule, what we do is, if this is y0, y1, y2, we take two intervals at the same time and we try to fit these 2 points with the help of a quadratic equation. Okay, so this is a quadratic fit. Okay, so that's why in this case of Simpson's, order of fitting polynomial is 2. Okay, because we take two subintervals at a time, order of fitting polynomial is 2 in this case. Okay, so that's how basically we take two things. Okay, so we take two subintervals at the same time and we connect these 2 points by a quadratic equation. Okay, so connecting by linear is slightly less accurate than connecting by quadratic. Okay, as you increase the degree of fitting, then actually this becomes, so actually isn't it 3? No, it is not 3. Okay, 3 is for Simpson's 3/8 rule. Okay, now if you see, using 3/8 can we get exact value for cubic functions also? Yes, basically. Okay, so trapezoidal rule gives equal exact results for linear functions, then Simpson's one third gives exact result for linear, quadratic, and of course constant functions, and Simpson's one third gives for linear, quadratic, and cubic also. Okay, now if you see, this is order of fitting polynomial. Now if you calculate this area which is bounded by this green color curve, you will get a1 will be equal to h by 3 times of y0 plus 4y1 plus y2. Okay, normally this is a small derivation that you have to do. You will take this function as a0 plus a1x plus a2x square and all, then you will apply integration, integral 0 to 2h this function a0 plus a1x plus a2x square, all these things you will do. Okay, then you will replace back this y0 is equal to a0 plus a1x plus a1x square, then you will replace y1 is equal to a0 plus a1 times of x plus h plus a2 times of x plus h whole square. You substitute all these things actually, then from the adjustments you will actually get this. Sir, thoda Hindi mein bhi boliye. Okay, fine, I forgot, I am teaching in English. Okay, got it. Okay, so now is area will be equal to so this term. Okay, so actually इसको एक quadratic equation assume करके हम integrate करते हैं. ठीक है, so similarly ये 2 होते हैं कि h by 3 times of, now after this 2 again if you take another 2 y2 y3 y4 है ना, so you will get y2 plus 4 times of y3 plus y4. So this sequence will go on till the last step, h by 3 into yn minus 2 plus 4 times of yn minus 1 plus yn is what you will get. So if you add all these things, integral a to b f of x dx will be equal to h by 3 times of this y0 and yn will come only one time, so y0 plus yn, then all the odd terms will come 4 times, 4 times of y1 plus y3 plus y5 and so on, yn minus 1 plus all these terms will come 2 times, y2 y2 y4 y4. Okay, yn minus 2 yn minus 2, so 2 times of y2 plus y4 plus y6 and so on, yn minus 2 tak chalega. Okay, so this is the formula for Simpson's one third rule actually if you want to apply. Okay, सर मुझे तो सब हिंदी ही सुना दे रहे हैं. ओके, पर लेकिन बहुत सारे साउथ इंडियन के लोग भी है ना मेरे जैसे, उन लोगों को कुछ भी पता नहीं चलेगा, सो इसलिए मैंने इंग्लिश, दोनों इंग्लिश और हिंदी में भी पढ़ाएगा. ठीक है, फाइन. Okay, so is that clear to you? Fine now. So this is basically the calculation of Simpson's one third rule anyhow. Okay, now let's go for the next question. The eigenvalues of a matrix 3 by 3 matrix are 2 2 minus 1, then P inverse is equal to one of these options. Okay, so जल्दी सॉल्व करो इस क्वेश्चन को. मैट्रिक्स P का आइगन वैल्यूज क्या है? 2 2 minus 1 है ना. So P inverse is equal to, so how do you do this? Tell me. अगर ये 3 आइगन वैल्यूज है तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन क्या होते हैं? कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन होता है कि लैम्डा माइनस 2 into lambda minus 2 into lambda plus 1 is equal to 0 है ना. So this will be the characteristic equation. Correct? Yes or no? Confirm me. Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. अगर ये 3 आइगन वैल्यूज है तो ये कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इक्वेशन होते हैं ना, बिकॉज these 3 values are nothing but roots of this equation. So इसलिए lambda minus 2 whole square, lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 4 times of lambda plus 1 is equal to 0. So अगर आपने मल्टीप्लाई किया तो 2 2 minus 1, correct? So 2 2 minus 1. Okay, so lambda minus 2 into lambda minus 2 into lambda plus 1. Okay, so lambda cube minus 4 lambda square plus 4 lambda plus अगर 1 से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो lambda square minus 4 lambda plus 4 is equal to 0 हो जाएगा. So now this is lambda cube minus 4 plus 1 minus 3 lambda square 4 minus 4. So 4 lambda term cancel होते हैं plus 4 is equal to 0. So if this is the characteristic equation, then आपने बताया कि अगर कैली हैमिल्टन थ्योरम से every matrix satisfies its characteristic equation है ना. So if you see, therefore p power p cube minus 3p square plus 4 times of I is equal to null matrix. Correct? Now one very important thing, you want p inverse. First of all tell me one thing, p inverse कैलकुलेट करने के लिए p का डिटरमिनेंट 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. yes or no? करेक्ट? अगर p इनवर्स कैलकुलेट करना है तो p का डिटरमिनेंट 0 नहीं होना चाहिए. yes or no? करेक्ट? नाउ हाउ यू नो p का डिटरमिनेंट 0 नहीं है? तीनों वैल्यूज में एक भी 0 भी नहीं है. ओके, सो इसलिए इन तीनों को मल्टीप्लाई किया तो विच इज नथिंग बट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द आइगन वैल्यूज इज डिटरमिनेंट ऑफ द मैट्रिक्स. सो वी नो दैट दिस डिटरमिनेंट इज नॉट ए सिंगुलर डिटरमिनेंट. सो दैट्स व्हाई इफ यू सी multiplying, so we can write one thing, 4i is equal to 3p square minus p cube. Okay, so 3p square minus p cube. So multiplying with p inverse on both sides, multiplying with p inverse on both sides, अगर हमें दोनों साइड्स में p inverse से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो 4 times of किसी भी मैट्रिक्स को आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो क्या आएगा? p इनवर्स भी आएगा ना. ऐसा हो नो? इफ यू मल्टीप्लाई p इनवर्स विथ i, आंसर p इनवर्स ही हो जाएगा ना. सो p इनवर्स इज इक्वल टू 3 टाइम्स ऑफ p स्क्वायर इंटू p इनवर्स. सो p स्क्वायर इंटू p इनवर्स क्या होते हैं? p माइनस p क्यूब इंटू p इनवर्स p स्क्वायर. सो इससे p इनवर्स इज इक्वल टू 1/4 टाइम्स ऑफ 3p माइनस p स्क्वायर. बस वही है. Okay, so p inverse is equal to 1/4 times of 3p minus p square. Option A is the correct answer. Clear? Yes, A is the correct answer. Of course, A is actually the correct answer because हमें simply eigen values पता है तो characteristic equation calculate किया and calculate this characteristic equation is satisfied by this matrix. So हमें lambda की जगह पे p substitute किया था and यहाँ से p inverse निकला बस. Correct? So 1/4 times of 3p minus p square is the inverse of calculating this matrix. Okay, fine. बहुत सारे लव सिंबल्स आते हैं चैट में. थैंक यू. कैलकुलेट करो. सिंपल क्वेश्चन, बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चन. द वैल्यू ऑफ द इंटीग्रल माइनस 5π/2 to 5π/2 f of x dx. f of x दिया है कि ये फंक्शन. ओके, सो इज इक्वल टू वो चारों वैल्यूज में एक करेक्ट वैल्यू था. सो आइडेंटिफाई कर लो. व्हाट इज आंसर? So type in the chat box. Are you all liking the session? Yes or no? Is this means liking the session means I don't mean hitting the like button actually, but are you all liking the questions? That's what I mean. Okay. Are you all learning some new concepts actually? Are you all learning anything new when you are solving these questions and all? Okay. Fine. Option B. Sunil, I like you. Okay, thank you. Very interesting. Okay, fine. Okay, option B, na? Okay, so I mean love symbols going beside. Fine. Okay, great. So let us continue. Integral minus 5π/2 to 5 pi by 2 f of x. So this is e power pi x square into sin cube x dx plus integral minus 5 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 2 4 times of cos x dx. Now you tell me, मैंने इस फंक्शन को दो इंटीग्रल्स बनाया. नाउ ये दोनों इंटीग्रल्स में फर्स्ट इंटीग्रल का वैल्यू कितना होता है, इस इंटीग्रल का वैल्यू कितना होता है, टेल मी. 0 ना, क्योंकि ये फंक्शन ऑड फंक्शन था, करेक्ट. e पावर पाई एक्स स्क्वायर इनटू sin cube x, this is odd function, this is actually odd function. So हमको पता है कि इंटीग्रल माइनस a to a f of x dx is equal to 0 if f of x is odd function. If f of x is odd function, okay, odd function, okay, so odd function. Now so इसलिए इस वैल्यू होता है कि 0, this is 0. So ये वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करना बहुत सिंपल है, ओके. एंड वी नो दिस इज इक्वल टू 0 if f is odd function, and this is equal to 2 times of 0 to a f of x dx if f of x is even function. ये भी पता है हमको, if f of x is even function, okay. So if this is even function, so now this is even function, therefore this integral value is 2 times of 0 to 5 pi by 2 cos x dx into 4 भी आया था, so 8 actually, okay. So 8 is there because this 4 also you can take out and you can multiply. So 8 times of integration of cos x sin x limits 0 से 5 pi by 2 तक. So this is 8 into sin 5 pi by 2. So 5 pi by 2 is nothing but 2 pi plus pi by 2. So that is sin pi by 2. 1 minus 0. So 8 is the correct answer. Okay. So option B is the correct answer. Yes. Option B is correct answer. Okay. So B is the correct answer here. Clear? Simple question. Only one thing. ये दोनों properties पता नहीं. Okay. So let us solve this question. Yeah, this is one very fantastic question. I'll give you some time. Please solve this question. Okay. Don't mug up the answer. Okay. If you find key anywhere, it's okay. But don't try to tell me the key. Try to solve this question and tell me the answer. So try to solve this question. This is one special topic which is not in mechanical syllabus but in XC syllabus. Diagonalization of matrices. Okay. So diagonalization both important concept actually. Diagonalization of matrices. Diagonalization of matrices actually. Okay. So solve this and tell me. If Q is equal to 3 2 4 2 0 2 4 2 3 and P is equal to V1 V2 V3 is the matrix where V1 V2 V3 are linearly independent eigenvectors of matrix Q. Okay. Obviously if you want to define diagonalization concept, your vectors eigenvectors should be linearly independent. Okay. I'll hopefully take some session on this linearly dependent and independent in tomorrow's class. I'll spend some 10-15 minutes and I'll explain you. Okay. Because आज बहुत सारे other questions भी है, so इसलिए हमें two things, partial differential equations, heat and Laplace solutions of heat and Laplace equations, and this what do you say, power series solutions. PYQS नहीं है बहुत ज़्यादा, पर लेकिन मैं नया questions बनाता हूँ अभी series में, and I'll give you this concept of what do you say, this linearly dependent and independent in tomorrow's class. Okay, with very good detail. We'll spend some half an hour time on all these things and I'll give you concepts. Correlations भी करता हूँ, ठीक है. Newton's interpolation, Lagrange's interpolation, वो questions भी हम करेंगे, ठीक है. Now tell me the answer of this question. सर थोड़ा सीरीज के क्वेश्चन करवा देना. या सीरीज का क्वेश्चन है इस अभी क्लास में, इस क्लास में है. सो आफ्टर सम टाइम विल गेट दोस क्वेश्चंस. ओके. ये डी P inverse QP is equal to P inverse PD is equal to P inverse is equal to D. Okay. So they are asking you then the sum of absolute values of all the elements of the matrix P inverse QP. Look, basically if V1 V2 V3 are linearly independent eigenvectors of P of Q, actually linearly independent, linearly independent eigenvectors of Q, eigenvectors of Q, actually here, okay, of Q, then we can write this P inverse into Q into P, where P is this matrix basically V1, V2, V3. This can be written as a diagonal matrix, okay, and this diagonal matrix will be equal to lambda 1 eigenvalue 0 0 0 lambda 2 0 0 0 lambda 3, okay. So basically this is actually one transformation, and we generally write this as QP is equal to PD, okay. So this is what we write. So whenever these vectors are linearly independent, the determinant of P won't be 0, so that's why P inverse exists, okay. So Q, why this determinant is not equal to 0, why determinant is equal to 0, I'll tell you this option, okay. So used to form matrix with the help of eigen set, okay. So now tell me one thing. Now once you know, basically they are asking you the sum of all the absolute values of the matrix P inverse QP. So P inverse QP is nothing but D. So sum of all the elements of this matrix is nothing but sum of this matrix, okay. So हमको चाहिए कि lambda 1 modulus plus modulus of lambda 2 plus modulus of lambda 3 is इसका value कितना है. So how do you know this? Tell me. So please type in the chat box. How do you calculate these values, eigenvalues? You should calculate the eigenvalues, na? Yes or no? Sanjay, Nevan, all of you, Ocean. So tell me. All of you, please tell me. You should calculate the eigenvalues, right? Yes or no? Eigenvalues calculate करना है ना? So type in the chat box. You have to calculate the eigenvalues, correct? Okay. So now how to look, there are two methods for this question. I'll tell you both the methods. One is I'll calculate eigenvalues now in front of you. Second is there is one technique for this question, okay. I'll tell you, okay. The reason they have given this question is basically there is one specialty about this question. I'll tell you about that, okay. So first of all, let us go for the classical procedure, calculate eigenvalues of that. So lambda, first of all, Q is 324 202 423 202 423. So इसका eigenvalues क्या होते हैं? Determinant of Q minus lambda I is equal to 3 minus lambda 2 4 2 minus lambda 2 4 2 3 minus lambda. So this is equal to 0. So this implies 3 minus lambda into lambda minus 3 minus 4. So lambda into lambda minus 3 minus 4 minus 2 times of 6 minus lambda minus 8. So 6 minus lambda minus 8 plus 4 times of 4 plus 4 lambda is equal to 0, okay. So this is what you have, okay. Now this implies 3 minus lambda into lambda square minus 3 lambda minus 4 minus 2 times of this is 6 minus 8 is minus 2. So minus lambda minus 2 plus 4 times of 4 plus 4 lambda. So this is equal to 0, okay. So now if you calculate the eigenvalues, basically we can see, if you calculate, just multiply this, you will calculate the eigenvalues, okay. So what will be the eigenvalues? Please tell me. If you calculate this equation, then it will be a cubic equation with sum of coefficients will be equal to minus 1, correct? Okay. So how many of you have calculated eigenvalues to this? Is Laplace important for XC? Not much, but generally questions, they can come if they want to ask, okay. So basically if you see, we can get the eigenvalues. Anyhow, you know how to solve this equation directly. You will get lambda plus 1 constant from after a bit of simplification. So actually if you see this, lambda is equal to minus 1 8, okay. So this is what you will get actually from this question, okay. So lambda 1 is equal to minus 1, lambda 2 is equal to minus 1, lambda 3 is equal to minus 8. So magnitude of lambda 1 is 1, magnitude of lambda 2 is 1, and magnitude of lambda 3 is 8. So total sum is equal to 10, okay. So this is one way of solving this question, okay. So this is one way. So that's how the answer is 10, of course. Now one more way how to solve this question is, normally if you see the syllabus carefully of XE, they give you diagonalization of matrices properties of symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. The properties of symmetric matrices is what they'll give you. Okay, so if you see carefully, this matrix is a symmetric matrix. Yes or no? Correct? Correct na? This is a symmetric matrix na? Actually. Correct? Yes or no? So type in the chat box. Please type in the chat box, guys. This is a symmetric matrix, hai na? So Q is a symmetric matrix. Look, I'll tell you this technique. If this Q is a symmetric matrix, then lambda 1 modulus plus lambda 2 plus lambda 3 means if I take a 3 by 3 generally, this is equal to maximum of A11, A12, A13 plus maximum of A12, sorry, A21, A22, A23 plus maximum of A31, A32, A33. That's it. This is the answer. Okay, this is the answer for this. Normally, in case of symmetric matrices, normally you don't means you cannot find this concept in normal BS gravel level textbooks also, but actually in my MTech and all at some points I know this technique. Normally, if you see if this is a symmetric matrix, okay, then this values what are here is called norm. Okay, so this sum what I have written is denoted like this: sigma I is equal to 1 to n. If the matrix has I elements, then max of j I j. Okay, so this is what you will actually write here. Clear? So this is what you write here. So now if you see maximum of this first row plus maximum of this second row and maximum of this third row, so this is what we call j is equal to 1 to n. Okay, so we'll write this as sigma I is equal to 1 to n max of sigma max of a ij. Okay, so this is what you write actually here. Okay, so sigma of max ij. Okay, so this is what you write. So when you put 1 and j also will 1 actually, so j is also from 1 to n actually here, j is also from 1 to n. So when you write this, is in JE advanced they teach. Okay, I haven't seen in JE advanced, but normally this is called row sum norm actually, row norm of the matrix. So this is what, and this happens only for symmetric matrix. Okay, so now if you check this matrix without calculation of this equations, eigenvalues, all these things, if you know that this is diagonalizable, then out of these 3 elements maximum value is 4. Out of these 3 elements maximum value is 2. Out of these 3 elements maximum value is 4. So if you add this 4, 2 plus 4, answer is 10. That's it. Okay, so 10 is the answer. Clear? Fine. So this happens for only symmetric matrix. So please keep this in mind. Okay, so this is technique is called row norm and all. So we calculate using some basically we have some norms actually. We see Euclidean norm, all these things which are not in syllabus of XC, but this question, since they write in the syllabus properties of symmetric matrices, so this question is important. Okay, and in symmetric matrix rows and columns are identical. So even if you want, you can take column norm also. So basically if you see, maximum of this will be 4, maximum of this will be 2. So maximum of this is again 4. So this will be same because symmetric matrix means transpose and that both will be same. So you can calculate either row sum or normal or this column sum. So both will be same. Clear? Okay, Sid, Rudra Prakash, Himanshu, Prashant, Sudipta, all of you guys. Clear? Okay, so much of love. Thank you. So this is one technique. Okay, so I am definitely sure that you might not have heard this technique till now. Correct? So that's why I told you please don't miss these sessions. So this will definitely be helpful for you. So IIT cutoff you told na? Okay, IIT cutoff 12:30. Okay, it's been 1.5 hours since we started. I'll show you, no issue. IITM MTech Tech. Okay, so 2022. Let us open. So here you can see MTech cutoffs 2022, 2021, 2020. Okay, so 2022 if you open, these are the categories. Okay, so normally this is ME1 which I have enrolled during my time. This ME1 is basically thermal. Okay, so thermal engineering. ME2 is design and ME3 is manufacturing and production. Okay, so these are the cutoffs, final calls. Okay, so last candidate, okay, got score of 755. So if you get a score of around 755 or something like that, you can easily get an admission here in thermal, then followed by design. I think last year slightly it got down, and manufacturing is 427. Okay, and these are for the different categories: general, OBC, SC, ST, EWS, all these things. So general category cutoffs, if you see on an average, and depending on your category, your COAP can be okay, so basically depending on COAP results, you can easily identify that these are the cutoffs, final cutoffs, where you got this what do you say, the final seats in the final round. Okay, XC is accepted, yes, because I'll show you this also. I'll show you this also here. So see, eligibility criteria. So table 2, programs offered. Okay, better on this. Okay, so number of seats and all, this is number of seats, eligibility criteria here. Okay, so table 2, fine. So these are the codes of applying. Okay, so qualifying discipline code and gate paper is also given here. Okay, maybe table 3 we will go, some large table will be there. Table 3, eligible discipline, seats available, qualifying gate paper and additional requirements. Yes, so basically this is what I'm talking about. So if you see, for mechanical 1, ME1, okay, yes, mechanical 1, thermal, you can have BTech in any of this. Actually mechanical, you can, generally mechanical people write this. So, okay, yes, Shivangi, only for absolute values. Okay, someone has any question anywhere? But this will only be valid when we have to calculate absolute values. Yes, sum of absolute values. Okay, if you want directly eigenvalues, you can just add the matrix now, because look, try to understand carefully here. I'll just clear this technical doubt, then I'll come back to this IIT Madras story. So basically they asked absolute values. Okay, so this technique is used, whatever is basically 4 plus 2 plus 4, which is 10. Okay, now actually if you see, let us suppose if they don't ask absolute values. Okay, let us suppose sum of all the values of this matrix. Okay, so sum of all the values of this matrix is nothing but sum of the eigenvalues. Sum of eigenvalues is nothing but sum of principal diagonal elements. 6 is the answer in that case. Okay, and as per your calculation, -1 plus -1 plus 8 will give you 6, which is trace of that matrix. Okay, Shivangi, clear? Fine. So let us go back to the story that I am telling you. Here, so ME1, okay, so thermal and fluid sciences basically. So here if you see, ME is mechanical, so you can have BTech in mechanical, then you can write gate paper in any one of this. Okay, so total 42 seats and 2 backward seats, of course. So here if you see, then mechanical BTech and gate paper in any of this, then you can apply for this program ME1. Okay, and here you can clearly see there is XC, engineering sciences paper. Okay, for ME2 also there is XC, for ME3 also there is XC here. Okay, so that's how actually we can see that basically XC paper, based on XC you can actually get some good marks actually. Okay, so XC you can see now, and this is the number of seats that are offered that year, 42, something like this. So this is how you can actually get the thing. ME2 means design. Okay, ME2 is design and ME3 is manufacturing and production in IITM. So we saw that ME23 paper was very different than PYQ. Then why we are solving XC PYQs? We should solve new and difficult questions. No, I'll tell you one thing. Without many students are telling ME2023 paper is actually difficult, but honestly speaking, paper came on very basic concepts. Okay, for people who studied only formulas and went to the exam, it is difficult. Okay, if you have solved all those PYQs with concepts rather than mugging up formulas, that paper might have been very easy for you actually. You can see the questions, the kind of questions they asked is only conceptual questions, है ना? So if you would have solved all the PYQs conceptually, 2023 paper would have been very easy for you. But many of you followed shortcuts, this thing, that, everything you have followed, and that made your exam tougher actually, है ना? Yes or no? Tell me honestly, how many of you felt the questions asked were of more basic level than compared to previous years? How many of you felt this? For example, you take fluid mechanics, continuity equation. When density is given and function is given, if you know continuity equation, that's not a difficult question. You should actually know the continuity equation. Okay, so if you know continuity equation, if you have applied continuity equation, that question was very easy. Okay, so like this, everything was asked on concept and questions were made much relatively easy, honestly speaking. Okay, even in things like industrial and all, you got very easy questions. In strength of materials, many questions were on fundamentals, all these things. Okay, so 2022 paper was way more difficult than 2023. Yes, definitely correct. So 2023 was, I don't say it is easy, but it is based on purely concepts. Okay, so that's what you should always learn, concepts. Clear? Okay, so anyhow, this is the story. So if you want any cutoff anywhere, okay, if you want IISc for example, okay, so IISc cutoff, MTech cutoff, IISc cutoff report of previous years. Okay, so cutoff report of previous years you can find easily. There were a lot of things. IISc official website, cutoff report, MTech M Design 2022. So some note is given. Then if you see mechanical, production and engineering, so signal processing, mechanical engineering, gate, all papers are allowed. So 730 is the last score of the candidate who got admission there. Okay, and even for IISc MTech in mechanical, your XC score is valid. Okay, so XC is valid because you can easily see. I would like to show you the eligibility criteria actually. Degree programs, PG programs, sorry, degree, PG course programs actually, MTech and M Design. Okay, so now if you see, I'll show you this. Mechanical engineering, 24 is the intake. Basically you have to do mechanical gate papers with a gate paper in ME, aerospace, PI or XC. Okay, so 70% is the cutoff and 30% is the interview. Clear? So that's how actually all these cutoffs are actually present actually. Okay, so that's why you have to always give XC at your best. Okay, definitely you will get an MTech admission at some IIT. So within 1 year you will complete your coursework, second year you will have a placement. That's it. Fine. So but sir, like SSCJ they asked, but we were more towards numericals in MSQ as well. No, like it's not like the paper was actually quite logical and conceptual this year. That's what I personally felt after seeing the questions that came. Okay, all IITs take interviews or not? Generally majority of the IITs are not taking. Few only 2-3 standard IITs are taking. Okay, IISc and Kanpur, all these things are taking, but Madras there is no interview. Directly based on 100% gate score you are going to get the admission. Fine, let us go for the next question. Okay, so this is one technique for the symmetric matrix. Then this is a fantastic question, so let us solve this. So see here, let C1 be the line segment from 0 to 1 to 4/5 comma 3/5, and let C2 be the arc of the circle x square plus y square is equal to 1 from 0 to 1 to 4/5 comma 3/5. If alpha is equal to C1 2x plus y I bar plus 1 minus x square by y square j bar, and this is the case where r bar is xi plus yj, then the value of alpha square plus beta square actually. Okay, so this is what we want. Alpha square plus beta square is what we want here. So solve this question. First of all, let us see the path. If you see the path, then this is x axis and this is y axis. Then 0 comma 1 is point here, somewhere here, 0 comma 1 to 4/5 comma 3/5. So 4/5 comma 3/5 will be somewhere here. Okay, so 4/5 comma 3/5 for example. So let us say this is the point. Now C1 be the line segment between these 2 points. So C1 be the line segment between these 2 points. Okay, C1 be the line segment. So this is C1, and C2 be the arc of the circle x square plus y square is equal to 1. So first of all, if you see, this point is a part of the circle, so this is a circular arc like this. Okay, there is a circular arc like this. So there is some circular arc. Okay, so there is some circular arc that is coming. Okay, so circular arc C2. Okay, so this is C2. Now they are asking you, this integral is calculated if alpha is equal to along the C1 and al beta is equal to along C2. The same function 2x plus 2x by y I plus 1 minus x square by y square j, and beta is equal to integral over C2 2x by y I plus 1 minus x whole square by y square j bar dr bar. Okay, so where r bar is equal to xi plus yj, then the value of alpha square plus beta square. Okay, my maths was very weak. No issue, we can actually understand better. Okay, so we can discuss this later. Yeah, of course, that I've skipped. We cannot use gains here. Okay, no, we cannot use gains. Okay, because alpha, if you use gains, look what happens. If you want to make the path closed, you will get alpha plus beta value. Okay, but you want alpha square plus beta square value. So first of all, I'll tell you one thing. If curl f bar is 0, means if the flow is, means if the velocity is irrotational, basically integral over C f bar dot dr bar between any 2 points will be independent of the path connecting the points. This is one very, very important result actually. Will be independent of the path connecting the points. Will be independent of the path connecting the points actually. Will be independent of the path connecting the points. Okay, so path connecting the points. But actually your sense of rotation actually matters. Okay, so this is path independent. Now if you see what is f bar, this function. Okay, so f bar is equal to 2x by y I bar plus 1 minus x square by y square, correct? 1 minus x square by y square j bar. So if you calculate curl of this, for example, so curl f bar is equal to I j k dou by dou x, dou by dou y, dou by dou z, then 2x by y, 1 minus x square by y square, and 0. So if you calculate this curl, for example, okay, so if you calculate this curl, actually if you calculate this curl, then what happens? I bar times of dou by dou y of 0 minus dou by dou z of this quantity is 0, minus j bar times of dou by dou x of 0 minus dou by dou z of this is also 0, plus k bar times of dou by dou x of this quantity minus 2x by y square, minus differentiation of this quantity is plus 2x by y square. So this complete integration is actually 0 bar, of course. Okay, so this complete integration is actually equal to 0 bar. Now try to understand this. Hello sir, I am student of Sest batch weekend civil. I learned fluid from you, but after fluid batches are not connected, and since last month no batch is connected. Acha, no new batches na. You can talk to counseling team for that. Civil na, okay, fine. You can talk to civil ones. Okay, I mean the counseling team. Okay, Kedarnath. Yeah, I remember your name in the chat box, Kedarnath. Okay, fine. So this is 0 bar. Okay, so if this is 0 bar, that means one thing is very clear. Alpha 1 is calculated from this point to this point, and beta is calculated from this point to the reverse back this point. Okay, so only the directions are different, but since the paths are same, then definitely what happens? This alpha is equal to minus beta, because the directions are different. Okay, the value has to be same. Therefore alpha square plus beta square is equal to 2 times of alpha square is what you can directly write here. Okay, because beta is same as alpha. Sir, to whom shall I should contact? Okay, so basically you can have the counseling team numbers in PW app anywhere. You can just call them. I tried, but I couldn't make contact. No, you can actually contact in PW app. You can you can find this contact us option there. If you call to that number, they'll pick. Okay, they'll connect you. No issue. Now, so if you see this alpha square plus beta square is equal to 2 times of alpha square. Okay, now if you see this 2 alpha square, now what is basically, how do you calculate this value of alpha actually here? Okay, so alpha square plus beta square is what you want actually here. Okay, now if you see we need 2 times of alpha square, so 2 times of alpha square, so or 2 times of beta square. Basically this is also is equal to 2 times of beta square. Now tell me one thing, instead of, since this function is irrotational, whatever the path I follow, the value will be same. But so instead of calculating this line equation and all these things, can I do one thing? Can I bring this along this x-axis, along this y-axis, and can I calculate this along this path? Yes or no? If I calculate integral f bar dot dr bar along this path, will the value be same? Yes or no? Correct? Instead of calculating this along C1 and C2, because C1 and C2 you have to calculate line equations and circle equations. So since this function f bar is irrotational, so can I calculate the same integral alpha value? If I calculate from this point to this point along this path, the answer will be same. Yes or no? Correct? So let us say I am calling this path C, because I am trying to make the question easy. Okay, because if I see if along this path, if I have to calculate this integral, I have to write this line equation, then I have to substitute here. Okay, so that's why. So since the function is irrotational function, I can use this equation. So what is path C? If I split this path into 3 parts, A, B, C, along path C, which is A, B, C, along path A, B, C, let us write along path A, B, C. So integral over C f bar dot dr bar, which is alpha, of course, this can be split into 2 parts. Integral AB f bar dot dr bar plus integral BC f bar dot dr bar actually. Okay, so this is what you can write actually here. Okay, so if you can write this along AB, x is equal to 0, so dx is also 0. Okay, and along BC, y is equal to some constant, which is 3 by 5. Okay, so dy is equal to 0. So let us write this integral. Alpha is equal to integral AB. Okay, so along path AB, f bar dot dr bar. Okay, so what will be f bar dot dr bar? 2x by y dx, 2x by y dx plus 1 minus x square by y square dy. Okay, so this is what you have, 1 minus x square by y square dy plus integral over path BC, again same thing, 2x by y dx plus 1 minus x square by y square dy actually here. Okay, now if you see along path AB, this dx is 0 and this x is also 0. So this is integral 1 by y square dy, and y is changing from 0 to 4 by 5. Okay, and sorry, y is changing from 1 to 4 by 5. Next, along path BC, this y is constant, so dy is 0, so this term goes to 0, and x is changing from 0 to 4 by 5. Okay, so this integration is nothing but integral. You have only this function 1 by y square dy. So along this path AB, y is changing from 1 to 3 by 5. Okay, so it is changing from 1 to 3 by 5, 1 by y square dy plus integral BC along path BC. So from here, if you see, x is changing from 0 to 4 by 5. So 0 to 4 by 5, 2x by y. So 2x by y is constant along that path. So 3 by 5 dx. So you can calculate this integration directly. Okay, so if you can calculate this integration, then you will get the answer. Integration of 1 by y square is minus 1 by y within the limits 0 to 3 by 5. Sorry, 1 to 3 by 5. So using this minus sign, we can write this as, okay, so minus 1 by y, let us write directly, minus 1 by y, 1 to 3 by 5 plus this is 10 by 3 into x square, integration of x is x square by 2. So 5 by 3 x square. So 5 by 3 x square within the limits 0 to 4 by 5. Okay, so you can calculate this value directly. So if you calculate this value, how much you will get? So please tell me. Minus of 1 by, okay, let me calculate that value here. We have some space here. So this is equal to minus 1 times of 1 by 3 by 5. So 5 by 3 minus 1. This is the value plus 5 by 3 into x square. So what is x square? 4 square by 5 square. So 4 square by 5 square is what you have here. Okay, so this 5 and this square gets cancelled. Then 5 by 3 minus 1 is 2 by 3. So minus 2 by 3 plus 4 square, 16 by 15 actually, 16 by 15. 16 by 15. Okay, so if you want to make this 15, then make this a 10 and make this 15 here. Okay, so if you make this 15, then this is 6 by 15. So which is 3 by 5 is the correct answer, 0.6. Correct? So you are getting 3 by 5. Yes or no? So now this is 2 times of alpha square. So basically what is 3 by 5? This 3 by 5 is the value of alpha. Okay, so we need value of 2 alpha square. So 3 by 5 square. So 3 by 5 is 0.6. 0.6 square, okay, into 2, 0.72 is the correct answer. Okay, so 0.72, 8 by 5. Okay, so I made some calculation anyway. 1.6, 8 by 5. Did I make any calculation mistake here in this calculation? 5 by 3 minus 1, 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3 plus 16 by 15, correct? Alpha is 2 by 5. Okay, alpha is coming 2 by 5 na. Okay, 6 by 15 na, correct. So 6 by 15 is 2 by 5. Yes, correct. This is 6 by 15. So this is 2 by 5. Okay, so if this is 2 by 5, then 0.4. So 0.32. Then in that case, of course, 0.16 into 2. So this value becomes 0.32. 0.32 is the correct answer. Okay. Yes, basically here, if you see, this 6 by 15 is 2 by 5 na. If you cancel the table, this is 2 times and this is 5 times. 2 by 5 is the correct answer. Okay, so alpha value is 2 by 5. If you calculate using this line equation, this integration calculation will be little lengthy actually. Okay, so that's why we have taken one simple path, so that along that path also the integration value remains the same. So that's why we got the correct answer. Okay, so did you all understand how I have created this excess path? Because since the function is irrotational, between these 2 points, overall any path, the function remains same. Okay, clear? So did you all understand this? Because of this path, you can see majority of the terms are getting zeros and they got converted to some simple integrations. Yes, correct. Okay, so 0.32 is the correct answer here in this case, because of this one simple excess path. So how did you get 10 by 15? 2 by 3 you have, correct? So if you have 2 by 3, you multiplied with 5 and 5. Okay, numerator and denominator. So curve clockwise aayega na? Yes, of course it is clockwise only. So I have seen. So basically if you see, this is a clockwise, this curve is what I have taken na? Because from this point to this point is alpha. So that's why I have to take the direction from this point to this point in this direction. Okay, fine. So is this clear to all of you? So गेट पर कम बाद सिविल में SSC JEE के लिए सब्सक्रिप्शन के look, I cannot tell this because anything regarding subscriptions or anything you can contact the counseling team, because I have very little idea on subscriptions and all. So better counseling team will definitely guide you. Okay, so you can PW app you can find, or in maybe Google also you can find the concerned team, counseling team numbers. You can just call them. So C2 curve, C2 is anti-clockwise. That's why I have written minus beta na. But since we need squares, so square values will be same. Okay. Sid, can you understand this? Because the senses are different, I have taken this as minus beta. But since they have asked square values, I have directly taken. C2 का need नहीं है ना, क्योंकि alpha and beta values are same almost. That's why. Okay, so since alpha and beta values are almost the same, that's why we have taken this. Okay, so I have generated one extra path to make the integration simple. C2 का जरूरत भी नहीं है. Okay, so fantastic question. Solve this. So solve this question and tell me the answer. 2020 में आया था. Let f of b is a real valued differentiable function on -1, 1 such that f of 0 is equal to 0 and modulus of df by dt is less than 1. For 0 less than t less than 1, then the series sigma n equal to 0 to infinity f of 0.5 power n is dash. Okay, so converges but not absolutely, is bounded, converges absolutely, is bounded but does not converge. Okay, so tell me the correct answer. XC branch क्या होता है? मैं सिविल से हूँ. XC is basically engineering sciences which can offer you MTech admission in different IITs. Okay, so tell me what is the answer? Converges absolutely. Why? Why it should converge absolutely? Okay, I'm asking why. I'm not asking the answer here. Okay, Jobber, I understand it is C, but why it is C? Why it is C actually? Look, I'll solve this question for you. Given modulus of df by dt is less than 1, correct? So -1 less than df by dt less than 1. Okay, so it is given clearly that this function is differentiable. So we can integrate from whenever t is in between -1 to 1, you can easily integrate this. So -1 less than or minus dt less than df less than dt. Okay, So now if you integrate on all sides, this implies minus t less than f less than t. Okay, so this is what you have. F of t is less than modulus of t, correct? This is what you know. Okay, or f of t is less than t is what you can write here. Okay, so modulus of f of t is less than t. Okay, or generally this t is basically minus t less than f less than t. So basically if you see this f function f of t, okay, so if you differentiate, this is function f is basically some function of t. So f of t is lying in between minus t and t. Okay, so I'm a class 9 student. Okay, so you are typing C for for some enjoyment. Okay, so minus t less than f of t less than t. Okay, so once you have this minus t less than f of t less than t, if you put t is equal to 0.5 for example, so if t is equal to 0.5, this implies minus 0.5 less than f of 0.5 less than 0.5. Okay, so which means this is actually some small value. Okay, similarly if t is equal to 0.5 square, because here you need this summation 0.5 square plus 0.3 cube, all these things. Okay, so this gives you minus 0.5 square less than f of 0.5 square is less than 0.5 square actually here. Similarly if you write the next terms, if t is equal to 0.5 whole cube, if t is equal to minus 0.5 whole cube, this implies minus 0.5 whole cube is less than f of 0.5 whole cube less than 0.5 whole cube. So this is what you have. Now if you add all these inequalities, sir total English कैसे बोल लेते हैं थोड़ा जी, sorry I didn't get it, sir आप totally English कैसे बोल लेते हैं थोड़ा जी, sir slowly थोड़ा, okay fine. Now if you see, so if you add all these inequalities, you will get one thing, minus 0.5 whole square plus minus 0.5 plus minus 0.5 whole square plus minus 0.5 whole cube less than plus and so on, this will be less than f of 0.5 plus f of 0.5 whole square plus f of 0.5 whole cube plus and so on, this will be less than 0.5 plus 0.5 whole square plus 0.5 whole cube and so on, correct? So this is what you get. Okay, so therefore this function, if you see, this will always be some finite value. Okay, because it is in between some negative and positive values, so this function is always some finite value here. Okay, so that's why this is actually convergent. Okay, so basically the function actually gives to converts to some finite value actually. Clear? That's why I'm in standard from physics Wallah. I have joined PW in class 9 standard. Okay fine. डाई कंप्लीटेड साइंस स्ट्रीम. ओके सर एक्सी से एमटेक करने के लिए मिनिमम कितना मार्क्स लाना पड़ेगा, डिपेंड्स ऑन द स्कोर दैट ईयर, बट गुड मार्क्स विल बी अराउंड 70 मार्क्स. ओके सो 72 75 तक आए तो एक अच्छा स्कोर मिलेगा. आप टोटल इंग्लिश कैसे बोल लेते हैं सर, थोड़ा हिंदी में बताइए, मैं कैसे इंग्लिश को इंग्लिश बोलना. अच्छा, इफ यू जर्नलिस्ट कीप ऑन स्पीकिंग इंग्लिश यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड. So what is the meaning of absolute here? Means sometimes what happens, look, whenever sometimes what happens is functions actually fluctuates, like sin x, cos x, these kind of functions. Okay, so in that cases we don't say absolutely converging, but it gives a finite value, so we can say it just converges. Okay, but since here if you see the function value is definitely some fixed value. Okay, so that's why we are telling it's absolutely converges. Please recall this concept. Jobber, you are in 9th class now, so this we are doing for engineering classes. Okay, fine. It's not for the our school level, it's slightly at the higher college level. Okay, undergraduate BTech level. Fine, so that's why you won't be able to get it now. Okay, fine. So after some years hopefully I'll teach you this concept. Okay, maybe after some, if you are in 9th class now, then 10 11 12 BTech first year second year, so after 5 years I'll teach you the same concept again. Okay, with the theory in detail. Okay, so for now please focus on your exams. Ram Pratap, no, don't say that. Okay, he got some excited, but it's okay. So can you please explain options in short, what each means? Yes, basically I can tell you converges but not absolutely, means this function do not have a finite value, it gets fluctuated. That's what this option mean. Is unbounded, means this functional value will go to infinity but it's a finite value. Is bounded but does not converge, means basically this is bounded from minus infinity to infinity but it's not convergent actually. Okay, so that's what this option means. Okay, fine. Okay, so let us solve this question. Next question. So simple question tha. Let A be an 3 by 3 matrix such that A square is equal to A. Okay, so A square is equal to A. Okay, then it is necessarily first. So tell me, what type of matrix is this? If A square is equal to A, what type of matrix is this here? Fine. So please tell me, what is this matrix? Any name for this special type of matrix if A square is equal to A? Idempotent matrix है ना? So idempotent matrix. Idempotent matrix. And इसको बहुत सारे examples भी होते हैं. For example, A is equal to anything 4 minus 1 if you take, then 3 times or 4 times of this whatever 12 minus 3. Okay, so this is one simple example of an idempotent matrix. Okay, LHS is minus 0.25. Okay, because square is in the second term. Okay, so that's why. Clear? Now anyhow, coming to here, A is equal to 4 minus 1, 12 minus 3 and all these things. Okay, so all these are basically idempotent matrices. So whenever A square is equal to A, so first thing, if A square is equal to A, then A is identity matrix or zero matrix? Need not be. Okay, so this is also one special matrix where this is not an identity matrix or it's not an identity matrix or it's not a null matrix, but still this is an idempotent matrix. Okay, A square is equal to A gets satisfied, so it need not necessarily happen. Okay, so this need not necessarily happen, this need not happen. Okay, determinant of A power 4 is either 0 or 1. पहले A power 4 का determinant calculate करने के लिए A का determinant क्या होता है? Look, if you apply determinant on both sides, determinant of A square is equal to det A. Determinant of A square is det A whole square is equal to det A. So det A whole square minus det A is equal to 0. So if you take det A common, det A minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so this implies det A is equal to either 0 or 1. Okay, so that's what you can write. Okay, so whenever A का determinant 0 या 1 होता है तो A power 4 का determinants क्या होते हैं? Determinant of A power 4 is nothing but det A power 4 है ना. So अगर det A का वैल्यू 0 होता है तो det A power 4 का वैल्यू भी 0 होता है, या if det A का वैल्यू 1 होता है तो det A power 4 का वैल्यू भी 1 होता है. So इसलिए ये स्टेटमेंट बहुत जरूर करेक्ट होना चाहिए. ओके, एंड रैंक ऑफ A इज इक्वल टू 3 नीड नॉट बी, क्योंकि अगर डिटरमिनेंट का वैल्यू 1 है तो रैंक इज 3, बट डिटरमिनेंट का वैल्यू 0 है तो रैंक 3 से थोड़ा कम होता है. सो इस स्टेटमेंट भी नेसेसरीली करेक्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. एंड A has one imaginary eigenvalue, need not be, because if you see, if you take identity matrix as an example, in identity matrix no eigenvalue is actually imaginary. Okay, so that's why this is also need not be correct. Clear? सर आपने दिल जीत लिया, आप हम लोगों इतने रात को भी पढ़ा है कुछ दिनों से. थैंक यू सर. या थैंक यू, आई अंडरस्टूड दैट यू आर टेलिंग आई वन योर हार्ट, and then itna late means I'm teaching at this late time also, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, fine. So basically B is actually the correct answer. Okay, so in this case B is actually the correct answer. Okay, because if you see in this statement A is identity matrix or zero matrix, it need not be. Okay, so determinant is because of this analysis what I have shown you, and rank of A is 3 need not be, because अगर डिटरमिनेंट का वैल्यू 0 हुआ तो रैंक 3 से कम होता है. ओके, सो इसलिए एंड ये हैज वन इमेजिनरी आइगन वैल्यू नीड नॉट बी, बिकॉज अगर ये आपने आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स लिया तो आइडेंटिटी मैट्रिक्स में कई भी आइगन वैल्यू इमेजिनरी नहीं होते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग. 3 का मल्टीपल कैसे लिया का? जब भाई जाकर पहले 9th के पेपर्स दे दे. लुक fine, I think Joba is so much interested today, but anyhow look, don't worry of all these things now. Okay, so eventually you will get to know of these things. Take care. Fine, so this rank need not be 3. Okay, so B is correct answer. So let us solve this question. Solve this question. Yeah, I understood. Okay, fine. So let us solve this integration. Let this was asked in 2017 XE. Let I is equal to integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus t dt plus pi I by 2 times integral 0 to 1 e power I pi by 2 by 1 plus e power I pi by 2 dt minus I times of integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus it dt. Okay, multiplication of I is square root of minus 1, the value of this complete integration. So matrix में, sorry sir, I didn't get the question. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the matrix question, previous question. Okay, 3 का multiple कहाँ लिखा मैंने? हाँ, you can write any multiple. Okay, no issue basically. Okay, if you want, you can write 2 का multiple also, 8 and minus 2, then also a square will be equal to a. Okay, you can write any multiple. I have just taken by default, that's it. Now if you see this, first of all, if I split this to I1, I2 and I3, now let us see. First of all, पहले I1 calculate करना है. I1 is equal to integral 0 to 1 by 1 plus t dt. Okay, so इसका वैल्यू होता है कि ln 1 plus t within the limits 0 to 1. So ln 2 minus ln 1. So ln 1 is 0 and this is ln 2. Okay, now this is a value integral straight away. I2 is equal to integral 0 to 1. Okay, pi I by 2 भी दिया था, pi I by 2 integral pi I by 2 integral, something is touching here, just a minute. Okay, fine, pi I by 2 integral 0 to 1, and what is this integration? E power I pi by 2 e power I pi t by 2 divided by 1 plus e power I pi t by 2. Okay, so dt. इसको कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं? हमें पाई आई बाई 2 इंटू, लुक इस फंक्शन का डिफरेंशिएशन क्या होता है? e पावर आई पाई बाई 2, e पावर डिफरेंशिएशन ऑफ 1 is 0, e पावर आई पाई t by 2 is e power I pi t by 2 into this function differentiation is pi I by 2. So basically this complete thing can be written as logarithm of 1 plus e power I pi t by 2. Okay, so within the limits 0 to 1. Okay, so t changes from 0 to 1 actually here, correct? Because if you differentiate this, log differentiation is 1 by this function into inner differentiation of this function is e power I pi t by 2 into pi I by 2. So if you put t is equal to 1 here, log 1 plus, when you put t equal to 1, e power I pi by 2 comes out, correct? So e power I pi by 2 का वैल्यू कितना होता है? cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2, है ना? cos pi by 2 plus I times of sin pi by 2. So cos pi by 2 का वैल्यू 0 and sin pi by 2 is 1. So ये वैल्यू होता है कि I. So log 1 plus I minus, when you put t is equal to 0, e power I0 is 1. So this is minus log 2. Okay, so this is ln 2. Then I3 is equal to, similarly I is actually the differentiation of this complete term. So we can write this I3 is equal to ln 1 plus it within the limit, of course with a minus sign actually. I3 is equal to minus ln, okay, if you take the minus sign separately, I3 is equal to integration of this quantity is again ln 1 plus it within the limits 0 to 1. So this is ln 1 plus I minus, when you put 0 here, this is log 1, 0. Okay, so this is ln 1 which is 0 actually here. Okay, so this is 0, so this gives you ln 1 plus I. Now you have I1 plus I2 minus I3. So do this calculation. I is equal to I1 plus I2 minus I3. So I1 का वैल्यू कितना है? I1 का वैल्यू ln 2 plus I2 का वैल्यू कितना है? I2 is basically ln 1 plus I minus ln 2. ln 1 plus I minus ln 2 minus I3 का वैल्यू कितना आया था? ln 1 plus I again. So ln 1 plus I. So यहाँ से बहुत क्लियर है कि ये दोनों टर्म्स कैंसिल हो जाएगा and ये दोनों भी कैंसिल हो जाएगा. So final answer is 0. Clear? So the correct answer is 0. Okay, मैंने कल ऐसा क्वेश्चन किया था. अच्छा, गुड. ओके, फाइन. सो लेट्स गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्विकली. हाँ, नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का क्वेश्चन आया था. देखो बहुत सारा इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है. A company records heights of all employees. Let X and Y denotes the errors in the average height of male and female employees respectively. Assume that X is normally distributed with 0, 4 and Y is also normally distributed with 0, 9 and are independent. Okay, and they are independent. Then the distribution Z is equal to X plus Y by 2 is dash. Okay, so let us see here. X is normally distributed with 0, 4. What is the meaning of this 0, 4? This symbol tells you that X is normally distributed and mean is equal to 0 and variance, which is sigma square, sigma x square, is actually equal to 4. Okay, similarly Y is also normally distributed between 0 to 9. This means Y is also normally distributed with mean is equal to, mean also let us indicate with the symbol mu x, mu y is equal to 0 and variance, which is sigma y square is equal to 9. Okay, so you have two normal distributions. Now if these two are normal distributions, then what could you get for the distribution Z is equal to X plus Y by 2? Look, Z is equal to X plus Y by 2, so half into X plus half into Y. Okay, so they are taking average basically. Okay, now whenever you are taking average, actually the thing that you get is, let us suppose if X is normal distribution with mean, X is a normal distribution with mean mu A and sigma mu X and sigma X square, and Y is another normal distributed with mu Y and sigma Y square, then any combination, let us suppose Z is equal to some AX plus BY. Let us suppose if you have this, then this AX plus BY is actually equal to, this is also normally distributed with mean A into mu X plus B into mu Y, and variance is going to be A square into sigma X square plus B square into sigma Y square plus 2AB into covariance of X comma Y. Okay, so this covariance concept is normally a bit important in mechanical, but not it in the syllabus of XC as of now. So basically if you see this, covariance of X comma Y is given by E of XY minus expectation of X into expectation of Y. Okay, normally we do this from the integration techniques. Okay, so now if you see this, for independent events or independent variables, basically you can write variables here. So for independent variables, expectation of xy is equal to expectation of x into expectation of y. Okay, so normally this comes from this property. Many of you might have seen this property in definite integrals. Let us suppose if you have a constants a into b, a to b, x is equal to a, to x is equal to b, y is equal to c, to y is equal to d. So let us suppose if you have some function such that that function f of x comma y can be written into two product of two functions such that one is completely function of x and one is completely function of y basically. Okay, look, normally what you have in double integral, you have f of x comma y, but sometimes that f of x comma y, like for example if you have sin x into cos x, x square into sin y, these kind of things, then phi of x into psi of y is what basically the splitting of the function. So this can be written as a to b phi of x dx into c to d psi of y dy. Okay, so this is what one property we will use during analysis of this situation in normal distributions, of course. So right now again I am giving you the result only. So now if you see, because of this splitting, we can write this expected 5 independent variables, this e of xy can be written as individual products actually. Okay, so this is one property, just one property I thought of giving you. So now if you see this, this implies covariance of x comma y will be 0 actually in case of independent variables. Okay, because these two terms will be same. expectation of xy will be equal to this individual. Okay, so for independent variables, for independent variables, for independent variables, z is a function of z is equal to ax plus by, will also be a normal distribution with mean as a mu x plus b mu y plus and a square sigma x square plus b square sigma y square. So this is what we have, okay, because this covariance term will be 0 in that case. Okay, so therefore if you see, z is equal to half times of x plus y is what given to you, half x plus half into y. So this will also a normal distribution, it will also be normal distributed. So 1/2 into mean of x. So what is mean of x? That we have written, mean of x is 0 and mean of y is also 0. Okay, so 0 plus half into 0. And what about variance? 1/2 square into sigma x square. So what about sigma x square? 4 plus 1/2 whole square into 9. Okay, so 9 is also there here. So this is normal distribution. So mean value 0 plus 0 is 0, and coming here 4 plus 9 is 13. So 13/2 square is 4. Okay, so 13/4 gives you, आपने अगर 4 table cancel किया तो 3.25, correct? So that's why this z is a normal distribution with, so this z is actually, z is equal to x plus y/2, which is a normal distribution with mean 0 and variance 3.25 actually here. Okay, so if you see, this option is present in option B, so B is actually the correct answer in this case. Clear? Okay, so B is actually the correct answer in this case. Okay, so fine, did you all understand this? Okay, so this is the common relation. Okay, for any type of distribution, this is what you have. Fine. Okay, so did all of you understand this? Basically this formula is a bit important actually. The result, the derivation of this is actually very lengthy. Okay, maths is actually common subject. Okay, means compulsory subject actually. Okay, so we usually represent normal distribution as mean and variance only, or median or standard deviation. We generally denote with mean and variance. Okay, any another method? Basically as of now this is the only thing which is simple. Okay, otherwise you have to go for integrations again. Okay, that will be much more complicated. Look, I'll show you one thing, just combination of two normal variables. Okay, so if you see, for example, you can see basically some result from somewhere or university results. This is how they look. Okay, so actually you have to do some integrations and all. Okay, so this is simple. Even there is one particular example in Wikipedia or somewhere I found sometime. So that will be like statlecture.com or probability distributions. Basically it will be very lengthy actually. Okay, so all these things again, if you see, they'll use some high equations actually to get this, which see some matrices again. Okay, so this will be very lengthy comparatively. Okay, so that's why better go for this method. Okay, whatever I'm trying to give you, I'm trying to give you only the simple things. Okay, it's not like I know many other things. Okay, but if I keep on telling, look, for example, to calculate, should we learn covariance compulsorily? That I cannot predict now, but it is in the syllabus, so we'll learn. Okay, so tomorrow I'll keep some questions from covariance. Covariance you're asking now. Yeah, better you learn. Okay, because this is a question from 2016, and after in 2019 there are some slight changes in the syllabus. After that, covariance question didn't came till now, so we are believing that this is not in the syllabus, but let us keep prepared. If some question comes in extreme case, then it will be helpful to you. Okay, look, whatever I'm teaching you, I'm teaching the simple things and which are only in the syllabus actually. Okay, because if I want to tell you some shortcuts for determinants, means different, not shortcuts, actually different methods to calculate determinants, then I can keep on telling some 10 to 15 methods, but in exam actually it will be helpful to you only if you calculate 3/3 determinant directly as it is. Okay, so partial differentiation key heat and Laplace वाला कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़ा अच्छे से समझ देंगे तो अच्छा होगा. या डेफिनेटली टुमारो आई विल show what is variable separable form and I'll show you the solutions of heat and Laplace equations. Okay, no issue. So next, let us see this question. The radius of convergence of the power series. So basically sequences and series, this question. So if you expand this series, what you will get actually? So if you expand this, when you put n is equal to 0, this is 1 plus x. So basically you can write one thing. So nth term of the series. Okay. So nth term of the series, nth term of the series is basically un is equal to x minus 3 whole power n by 3 power n into n factorial. Now they are asking you radius of convergence. So how many questions left for today? Let me check. Okay, I think only 4 or 5 questions, 3 more questions are left. Okay, so fine, we'll take some 20-25 minutes more. Okay, then we shall finish the session. Clear? So let us see here. So nth term of the series un is equal to x minus 3 whole power n by 3 power n into n factorial. So normally these are called power series, and in case of power series, actually if you see, we have this ratio test. Okay, ratio test. So basically look, they are asking you radius of convergence of the following power series. So basically what is this radius of convergence? Basically the x can take some finite values such that all these values can be fitted in a circle, so that within those points the function can be actually within those points this series can be a convergent series actually. Okay, so now if you see this ratio test, this ratio test tells you if for a converging series, for a converging series, limit n tends to infinity un plus 1 by un, magnitude of course. Okay, so this modulus should be less than 1 actually. Okay, so this, if this is less than 1, then definitely we can write the series is converging series, or else you should know the series is divergent series. Okay, now if you see this implies limit n tends to infinity un plus 1. So what will be un plus 1? Un is this. So un plus 1 will be x minus 3 whole power n plus 1 by 3 power n plus 1 into n plus 1 factorial divided by un is x minus 3 whole power n divided by 3 power n into n factorial. So अगर ये लिमिट कैलकुलेट किया तो इसका वैल्यू 1 से थोड़ा कम होना चाहिए, है ना. So now if you see x minus 3 whole power n, this can cancel 1 times. Okay, so x minus 3, this 3 power n plus 1 and this 3 power n can cancel a 3 here. N plus 1 factorial can be written as n plus 1 into n factorial. So this n factorial cancel this n plus 1 times actually here. Okay, so this implies, now here the variable is n, so x minus 3 and 3 can be taken out of the limit because there is no n in that two terms. So x minus 3 by 3 modulus into limit n tends to infinity 1 by n plus 1. This value should be less than 1 for convergence. Okay, so whenever this value should be less than 1, then definitely this limit is always 0. Yes or no? Correct? The value of this limit is always 0 because 1 by infinity will give 0. Limit comes inside or outside? Where basically? Of this modulus. Anything is fine. Okay, you can put anything. Modulus can be, means basically modulus can be only to the function or it can be to the complete limit. Okay, look, you can write something like this if you want. Okay, so fine, no issue. Okay, because I think I have denoted outside, so no issue. So this is 0. So definitely whatever might be the value of x, this is always less than 1. Okay, so at any value of x from minus infinity to plus infinity, this is always converges. Okay, so that's why this radius of convergence is actually infinity. Okay, Stirling formula generally we use for this alternating series and all. So right now let us go with this ratio test. Okay, for power series generally whenever things are like directly un is given, better go for the ratio test always. Clear? Okay, so just a minute. Okay, clear to all of you? So let us solve this question. Next question. So solve this question. Fourier series. So solve this question of Fourier series. The Fourier series of a periodic function f of x is equal to mod x minus 1 less than x less than 1, where f of x plus 2 is equal to f of x is given by this value. Using the above, the sum of infinite series 1 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square and so on is dash. So solve this question and tell me the answer. Okay, so please type in the chat box. I understood it converges, but why infinity, sir? Because the function is the series is getting converged from the series is getting converged actually at every location, okay, for any value of x. That's why from minus infinity to plus infinity it can converge at any value of x. That's why the radius is infinity. Okay, Isha bhai, mathematics and engineering mathematics in biotechnology go hand in hand. I think I'm not good at maths, still came to improve, sir. Your way of explanation is okay, thank you. So so please type in the chat box what is the answer of this. Look, they have given the Fourier series expansion of this f of x is, which is mod x, of course, f of x is equal to half minus sigma n equal to 1 to infinity 4 times cos 2n minus 1 pi x by 2n minus 1 whole square pi square. Okay, so this is pi square actually here. Now they are asking you this is, and what is this function f of x, which is mod x. Okay, so basically mod x or mod x is equal to half minus sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 4 cos 2n minus 1 pi x by 2n minus 1 whole square pi square. Okay, so basically this series, if you see, sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity 4 and pi square, if you take out 4 and pi square, if you take out actually 4 by pi square into sigma n equal to 1 to infinity cos 2n minus 1 pi x by 2n minus 1 whole square is equal to 1 by 2 minus mod x. Okay, now you want this particular series 1 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square and so on. Okay, now if you see 4 plus 4 by pi square into, look carefully, if you put n is equal to 1, for example, if you put n is equal to 1, this is cos pi x by 1 square. Okay, so cos pi x by 1 square plus, when you put n is equal to 2, cos 3 pi x by 3 square plus cos 5 pi x, when you put n is equal to 3 by 5 square plus, and so on. This series will go on, and this is equal to half minus mod x. Now what you want actually here, we need this expansion 1 by 1 square plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square, correct? So all these values has to be 1, yes or no? All these cos values, cos terms which are on the numerator, they should be equal to 1 actually here, correct? So if all the numerator terms has to be 1, then definitely please suggest me any value of x which can make all these terms 1. Zero ना, correct? अगर हम x के place में 0 लगाए तो every term will become 1, correct? So put x is equal to 0 on both sides, and we can put x is equal to 0 because this function is between minus 1 to 1. Okay, so we can put 0. So if you put 0, 4 by pi square is equal to into 1 by 1 square, which is 1, plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square plus 1 by 7 square and so on. This will give you half minus magnitude of 0. Okay, so anyhow mod 0 is 0. So this series expansion 1 plus 1 by 3 square plus 1 by 5 square and so on, this infinitely is equal to 1 by 2 into pi square by 4. So this is pi square by 8. So look carefully, this says is actually equal to pi square by 8. Okay, yes, 0 is correct substitution. So basically pi square by 8 is what you will get here. Okay, so if you check the options B, I think pi square by 8. Option C is the correct answer. Okay. So please explain this question again. Thanks. Yeah, I am explaining you this function. The Fourier series of this function is given directly here. Okay. So Fourier series is this function. So from this function, this f of x is actually nothing but mod x. So mod x is equal to this term. So from this I have written 4 and pi square out I have taken as constants from this expansion. So this is equal to 1 by 2 minus mod x. Now I have expanded this. I have kept n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, all these values. So when you kept that, we got this expansion. Now we actually need this term. Okay, so we need 1 by 3 square, 1 by 5 square, all these things. Okay, so for getting that, you have to make these numerators 1. Okay, so this numerators become 1 when you put x is equal to 0 in both the sides. Okay, so that's how this is pi square by 8. Clear? Okay, now so this is pi square by 8. Clear? So let's go for the next question. This is good question. See, consider the function f of xyz is equal to x cube e power y sin z and the point 1 0 pi by 2. Then the value of f does not change due to small displacement of p along the direction of. So they have given you a point actually. Okay, so along, so here why do not need the period of function? So here we do not need the period of the function. We do not need, because they have directly given you the Fourier series. Okay, if Fourier series is not given to you, then you have to do the integration. Okay, you have to actually calculate the integral values. Okay, so that's why we have to at that time we use the periods. Okay, fine. So let us see here, f of xyz, x cube e power y sin z. So this is a scalar function. So change in f is given by, change in f is nothing but gradient of f. Correct? So pressure gradient, temperature gradient, all these are nothing but changes in those particular quantities actually. Okay, so that's why if you see, change in f is equal to gradient of f. Now they are asking you in which direction the change in f is actually 0. Okay, so let us see here. So del f is equal to, if you differentiate this, 3x square e power y sin z I bar plus x cube e power y sin z z bar plus, okay, then at that point, so x cube, again x cube e power y cos z k bar actually here. Okay, so this is gradient of f at any point. Okay, now we have to look for that point where this del f is actually 0. Correct? Because change in f, even if p changes slightly, then this function gradient of f should not change. Okay, 2011 XE, almost some 12 years back. So now if you see, for del f is equal to 0, for del f is equal to 0. Okay, so 0 bar actually, this 3x square e power y into sin z is equal to 0. So one thing is very clear, for some finite value of y, e power y is not 0. So x has to be 0, z has to be 0 or pi, whatever. Okay, so 0 or pi is not given, so let us take 0. Now if you see, there is no option like both x and y, z are zeros, then second term x cube e power y into sin z is equal to 0. This also again gives you the same combination, x equal to 0 or z should be 0. Finally last term should also be 0, x cube into e power y into cos z, so is equal to 0. So this will actually give you something like x can be 0 or z is equal to pi by 2 actually here. Okay, so now out of this, let us find the options where your complete components becomes 0 actually. Okay, so your complete component should become 0. So tell me basically what are the locations where this quantity becomes 0. So please tell me, type in the chat box. C na, correct? A, just a minute, something is fine. Okay, so this gradient of f has to be 0, correct? So what is the point they have given? 1 0 and pi by 2 actually here. Okay, so 1 0 and pi by 2, that gives you 3i, means at this point what is del f actually? Del f at this point p is equal to, when you put 1 0 pi by 2, this is 3i plus j plus this is 0 bar. Okay, so 0 into k, this is the direction, normal. Okay, so this is the normal direction at the point P. At the point P. Now, what is the direction at which there is no change? In the tangential direction, correct? Because normal direction is the maximum rate of increase. Then in this tangential direction, you don't experience any change. So basically, if you see, del f should be 0. So what are the options here that can make this 0? X is equal to 1 and z is equal to pi by 2 and y is equal to 0, correct? So they have given you for small displacement in P along the direction of the value of f does not change due to small displacement of P. So if P got shifted slightly, then what is the, if these two has to be same, then the tangent should be 0. Okay, so slope of the tangent should be 0. So in that case, what should happen? Del f is there, x cube e power y sin z, and P is 1 0 pi by 2. The value of f does not change due to a small displacement of P along the direction of. Okay, so let us see here. 1 0 pi by 2 is matching the things now actually. So just check it carefully. 1 0 pi by 2. When you put 1 minus 3 0 also, 1 minus 3 0, then that's giving you some other quantity. So the value of f does not change. So change in f is nothing but gradient of this del f has to be 0. So what are the points? We are getting x equal to 0, z is equal to 0, or x equal to 0 and z is equal to pi by 2. So the combination of these things is what we have to take. Okay, 1 0 pi by 2, 1 0 pi by 2, correct? Any idea? Angle 90 na, so dot product 0. About which point you are telling the angle? Look, at this point, del f at this point P is given by this. So change in f at this point. So normal is given by this. Okay, so if you want, if this is the maximum rate, then along the tangent you want. Okay, so tangent is basically the normal to this del f. Okay, so if you want to calculate normal to this del f, how do you calculate? You should match the dot product with del p is equal to 0, correct? Instead of doing this, because here we are not getting this point, we are getting some other point. So we'll do one thing. The maximum rate of increase is in the normal direction, which is, look, if there is a function f, for example, then at point P, this is the maximum rate of change. Okay, normal direction. So obviously, if you see, then the minimum rate of change or 0 will be something like this. Okay, so it is in the tangential direction. So basically, this has to be 0 actually. Okay, now you got 3i plus j into 0k. Okay, so 3i plus j into 0k is the normal direction. Then if you see, let us suppose if this direction is given by ai plus bj plus ck, for example, then in that case you should have 3a plus b is equal to 0. So b should be equal to minus 3a. So check for the option which is having b is equal to minus 3a. Option C now, C is having, right? So that's why C is actually the correct answer. Okay, because I am getting some other points also like this. Okay, along this tangent I am getting different points when I am equating this to 0, because if I equate directly del f to 0, we are getting different points. So we know that the minimum rate of decrease will be along the tangential direction. So that's why if you see along this tangent, so normal equation is known to you. So tangent we can easily find. If this is the direction, dot product of these two should be 0. So b is equal to minus 3, which is present in this option. So C is actually the correct answer in this case. Clear? Okay, so C is correct answer. So let's go for the next question. So solve this. In yesterday's class we have seen this. Okay, Euler-Cauchy equations. Euler-Cauchy equations. Okay, so this is Euler-Cauchy's equations. 2013, 2 marks it came. So if you see, if you substitute x is equal to e power z, for example, then we know x cube into d cube by dx cube. This is d minus 1, d minus 2, x square into d square by dx square. So this is d into d minus 1, x into d by dx. This is d, and we have a constant. Okay, so and what about z? Z is equal to log x to the base e. Okay, so now if you substitute these things in this equation, then we get d into d minus 1 into d minus 2, then plus x square into d square by dx square. So plus d into d minus 1 plus x into d by dx. So this is plus d minus y you have. Okay, so minus 1. This completely is operating on y. This is equal to 0. So now if you simplify this, d square minus d into d minus 2. So d square minus d into d minus 2. So this gives you d cube minus d square minus 2d square plus 2d. Correct? This is what you get actually. D cube minus d square minus 2d square plus 2d. So this is what you have. Fine. So first term gives you this plus d square minus d plus d minus 1 operating on y is equal to 0. So now if you simplify this, d gets cancelled, then minus d square and plus d square gets cancelled, then 2d is there here, correct? So 2d minus 1. So this equation is d cube minus 2d square plus 2d minus 1 is equal to 0. Operating on y is equal to 0. So what is auxiliary equation here? Auxiliary equation is m cube minus 2m square plus 2m minus 1 is equal to 0 actually here. So how can you find the roots of this cubic equation? Because you have to solve this cubic equation, है ना? So how do you calculate this cubic equation actually? Because you know, if sum of the coefficients is 0, what are the coefficients here? 1, minus 2, 2, minus 1, है ना? So what is sum of the coefficients? 0. If sum of coefficients of a cubic polynomial is 0, of any polynomial generally is 0, then x is equal to 1 will be one root of that equation. Okay, so here m is equal to 1 actually here. One of the value is 1 because sum of coefficients of this equation is 0. So what is sum of other two? m2 plus m3 is equal to 1 and m2 into m3 is equal to 1 again, correct? So you have 1 again. So this is 1. So finally the answer is m2 into m3 is 1 and m2 plus m3 is also 1 actually. So if you simplify this, m square minus m plus 1 is equal to 0 is what you will get. So if you solve this equation, m is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So this is 1 plus or minus root 3i by 2 actually here. Okay, so these are the roots of the equation. Synthetic division you can do, or else by directly, because you know sum of all the roots of the equation is equal to minus of this quotient and product of all the roots is minus of this particular term. Okay, so these are the values. So m is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 plus I times of square root of 3 by 2 and 1 by 2 minus I times of square root of 3 by 2. Okay, so this is what you have. So your solution is y is equal to c1 e power z plus e power alpha x, which is z by 2 times of c1 cos x, which is root 3 by 2. Okay, so because this is an imaginary number, z plus c2 sin root 3 by 2 z. So this is the solution. Okay, so c3, c2 and c3. Okay, because we have already used c1, so c2 and c3 here. Now if you replace this, basically y is equal to c1 into x is equal to e power z, so c1x, so y is equal to c1x. So in all okay, in these two options you have c1x actually, then plus e power z by 2. So what is z by 2 actually? Log x to the base e by 2, correct? Z is equal to log x to the base e by 2. So e power sorry, this is 1 by 2, na? It's not z by 2, sorry, it is 1 by 2 because the term is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2. So this is also 1 by 2 here. Okay, so this is e power 1 by 2 into c2 cos root 3, z is log x to the base e by 2 plus c3 sin root 3 log x to the base e divided by 2. Okay, so these are the functions. Okay, so this is basically the result of this. So I directly took d minus 1 common. Yeah, that also you can do. Okay, so you can take d minus 1 common, you can get the equation. Whatever is the case, basically you will get the same equation and the same roots. Okay, so here if you check this carefully, if you check this, then out of this c1x plus x power 1 by 2. Okay, so we have x power 1 by 2, correct? E power e power 1 by 2, correct? So e power 1 by 2. So where is e power 1 by 2? e power alpha x, correct? That's what we'll have, e power alpha x. That means here we have e power alpha z. Okay, so half times of log x to the base e. So this e power z is what we have. So e power z is log x to the base e. So this is square root of x. Okay, so this will become square root of x actually here, correct? This becomes square root of x, x power 1 by 2, correct? This is x power 1 by 2. So because if you see here we'll get e power alpha x. So e power alpha into z, which is log x to the base e. This can be written as e power log half on this can be written as root x e. So e power log is actually root x. Okay, so that's how this value is root x. Fine. What is general weightage of maths in XE? 15 marks fixed. Okay, it's a fixed weightage, 15 marks, 1-5. Okay, so square root of x basically here. Okay, so that is square root of x is here. So option D is the correct answer. Okay, fine. So option D is the correct answer. Clear? Okay, yes, D is correct answer here in this case. So let's go for the next question. So next question. Okay, I think these are the questions then for today. Yes, that's it. Okay, so basically this is the schedule and we have finished this part also today. Okay, so tomorrow morning again me and Sandeep sir will start this fluid mechanics. Okay, so in tomorrow's session I'll put some potential flow and I am planning to give you some recordings of potential flow. Okay, so that will be better for you. Clear? Okay, so again this is the team of course, and the most important slide is here. Thank you. Okay, so almost 150 time, 10 minutes less 2. So why should we study for series convergence? Because many times you should as of now if you see majority of the signals and all these things, they are in continuous series. Okay, vibrations, all these things. So we decide on the convergence basically. Okay, so what could be the time period, all these things we talk in terms of series. That's why. Okay, fine then. Yeah, thank you all. We'll meet again tomorrow morning for fluid mechanics session, and then tomorrow night for engineering mathematics session. Okay, I hope all of you enjoyed this session. So if you have any doubts, then you can ask me. So what are the formulas we should study in series convergence? Basically the ratio test. Okay, and one more test if you want, you can study the comparison test. Okay, that too could help you. Fine. So PDF please. Yes, yesterday also you got the PDF now. I have actually shared some more questions on Fourier PDE tomorrow. As I'm telling you, I'll give you the solutions of Laplace and heat equations. Clear? So then you can easily work out the things. Okay, fine. Then thank you all. Okay, we'll meet again. So can you please tell the Telegram channel this mechanical discussion? Okay, so PW mechanical discussion. Sequence and series more problems are also there. Tomorrow I'm going to bring few more problems. Okay, because in recent years only 1-2 questions are asked on series, so that's why I didn't partial differential equations questions भी है कल हम solve करेंगे. Any more things? Thank you for the love symbol, Samit Bansal. Okay, so anyway, so PDF in which channel? This mechanical discussion channel. Okay, thanks a lot for your efforts. Thank you. Fine then. Okay, so if you have no more doubts, then we can end this session as of now. Half cosine Fourier series, hey sir? No, generally it is not there to that level. Okay. Okay, so fine then. Then I think there is no more doubts. Fine. Okay, fine then. Okay, bye all of you. Good night. Correlation I'll teach tomorrow. Okay. This correlation questions on correlation we'll see tomorrow, because numerical methods, this Legendre's equation and what do you say, Newtonian's Newton's interpolation is there, so that we'll see. Nirvan Abhilash, thank you sir. Look, what I'm telling you now, I am as of now trying to solve as many PYQs as I can. Okay, because now it's not the time to teach concepts and slowly go. Okay, because normally if I take mathematics course, it takes around 120 hours plus. Okay, because I teach everything in detail graphically. I'll try to show you different things and all, and I'll also try to give you many results. But as of now time बहुत कम है, so इसलिए हमें directly questions attempt कर रहे हैं. Okay, so that we'll try to finish. Okay, so thank you all, good night, thank you for your patience, and bye. Okay, fine then, I'm ending the stream. No more questions now? Fine. Okay then, take care, bye all of you, good night, we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, thank you, bye.